Argentine composer who wrote the theme for Mission Impossible and more than 100 other arrangements for film and TV has died. Lalo Schifrin, winning 4 Grammys, was nominated for 6 Oscars. His son says he died from complications of pneumonia. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She's standing by her statement. The mayor needs to resign. Your radar is clear at 78 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 91. A heat advisory that's been with us all week long remains in effect until tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02.
I was not in the room when any votes were taken or deliberated on. I was asked to step out of the room 2 or 3 times, if I recall. So I can't speak to exactly what the vote was and the description of it.
And that's Democratic Indianapolis Councilor Krista Carlino speaking with Indy Politics after last night's public meeting. She's referring to the apology she gave to her fellow council members for suggesting that the law firm that they hired to investigate sexual harassment claims in the mayor's office was taking orders from people on the council.
You know, given an ultimatum, essentially, and a 24-hour timeline, that I would be expelled pending the receipt of a public apology for my actions, which I gave.
And she says she's still part of the caucus. She still has her assignments, but she still thinks that Mayor Joe Hogsett needs to step down.
I didn't issue an apology for my resignation calls, especially not the mayor.
And the law firm was paid over $250,000 for their work. They found that Hogsett had nothing to do, as far as legally has to do, with the sexual harassment claims against his former right-hand man, Thomas Cook. Last night on Indianapolis' South Side.
It's really troubling that people have to deal with this, but I can tell you the IMPD is laser focused on identifying that small part of our community that is determined to commit these violent acts.
IMPD Captain Rob Ryder talking about a murder at an apartment complex that started when a guy showed up to sell a gun. At Gamebridge Fieldhouse, the Fever lost to the LA Sparks 85-75.
I think that we haven't shown a killer instinct yet, and that's we have had a tendency to relax in those moments instead of, for lack of a better term, go for the kill.
And that's Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White talking about the loss without their star player, Caitlin Clark, who sat out with a groin injury. I'm Ryan Hedrick, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute on a Friday morning at 6:04.
Denny Smith here. The hot summer sales continue at Miss M's Home and Garden and Sundown Gardens. Happening now, save more when you buy more trees and shrubs. Now, when you buy 2, you save 10%. When you buy 4, you save 20%. And get this, when you buy 6 or more trees and or shrubs, you save 30%. Also, if you need a refresh in the porch planters, annuals are 30% off. Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Barkersville. Sundown Gardens, 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Yeah, let's look at that construction zone on the south side, northbound, southbound, 65 from 465 to the south split. Now, some of the road construction has been canceled, like the I-65 construction north of downtown. That weekend road work has been postponed. Same thing with I-70 on the west side. Have not heard anything about this big closure being canceled on the south side coming up this weekend. It's scheduled as northbound 65 from 465 to the south split, supposed to shut down at 9 o'clock tonight, then reopen at 6 a.m. Monday morning, all this weather permitting. If it changes, I will let you know right here and at Matt in Traffic. We have a rolled semi-trailer on the east side, southbound 465 at I-72, right lanes closed, no delay at the moment. There is a slowdown. Traffic sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Tired of feeling alone in your job search? With just one connection, you can find endless job opportunities. That connection is Express Employment Professionals. Visit ExpressPros.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Good morning. Happy Friday. How does our weather look?
Hey, Craig. Happy Friday to you. We're going to just kind of continue with the same old heat advisory remains in effect. This is the same one that's dated back since last Saturday. This is the last day for it. Expires at 8 p.m. tonight. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy, hot and humid, just the same old, 92 for your high. Feels like temperatures between 100 and 105. And like the last couple of days, some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Might have to dodge those until later tonight. Once the sun goes down, we'll turn mostly cloudy then overnight. Very stuffy, a low of 73. Weekend's not too bad. It's still pretty hot. Partly cloudy, maybe a spotty thunderstorm Saturday, 89. Sunday, partly cloudy. Should be dry, a high of 90. Monday will be our best chance of rain, scattered showers and thunderstorms, and it will be a bit cooler, too. Monday's highs into the mid-80s.
Thank you very much, Marcus. Right now it is 6:07 Friday morning. Tony Katz in the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A whole bunch of stuff to talk about on a Friday. I am very curious to see which senators say which things about not passing the big, beautiful bill, because I do wonder if part of this now, and I know I have friends and family that will say to me all the time, people who are more ardent supporters of President Trump than I am. I'm not saying I'm not a supporter, but they're more ardent. I have family members who make the joke they'd take a bullet for President Trump. And then actually they usually say up until he almost got killed. Then they kind of change that message. But nonetheless, they tell me that every time he does something, there's another intention behind it. You know, people who feel this way about President Trump. And maybe the big, beautiful bill is designed all along to let us know who the rats are in D.C. on the conservative side of the aisle, on the Republican side of the aisle, who won't pass something because they don't like this funding over here or that funding over there being cut. They've got to find a way to add it back in, but we will see. But I found that pretty interesting, that now it's the Senate's turn after the House definitely passed the bill, and the Senate is struggling to decide what they're going to do and how much they're going to actually spend and how much they're going to actually cut, because now it's a reality, and it's sitting on your desk, and you have to make moves, and you have to act according to whoever is paying you and putting money in your pockets. So we'll see what that exactly is. But I found that really interesting, that there might be this holdup and there might be some stupid government procedure stuff also trying to kill the bill in one way or another that I thought was uniquely sort of hilarious. I'll say this, and I know hilarious isn't supposed to be, it's not the right word, but I have to laugh, because if you don't laugh, you want to do other things. You want to punch stuff. What I will say about it, and this is, as again, amused as I'm going to be about anything, it just makes me hate DC more. Whenever you hear stuff like a parliamentarian is somehow contributing and preventing something from going on, you're like, why? Why does DC work this way? Why don't regular people act like regular people, even in Washington, D.C., and get stuff done way more often by not being annoying and ridiculous? All right, there's better words for that, too. And I made myself laugh this early in the morning. That's great. Oh, well, I do that a lot. But anyway, I just can't help that but think that this is another example of why Americans think that D.C. is so far from what we are, so removed, so disconnected from day-to-day life in every way, shape, and form. I want the tax cut in the big, beautiful bill. I'll say that. I want it. I don't really care about how much worse the debt is going to get if I get my sweet tax cut. I'm kidding a little bit, because I do think that the big solve for any of those financial issues is actually tariffs and the amount of money that we're already making in tariffs. I think that's going to keep happening. I think that's going to keep being beneficial. One other thing I just want to play. I don't know how much I'll talk about this here in Indianapolis. I know it's not a huge story, but as you're watching some Republicans, especially Mitch McConnell, start to demonstrate that they might be more rhino than Republican, you're also hearing insanity from the left in New York City, from the crazy guy in New York is what I've been calling him, this guy who might be actually elected as the mayor there. He recently had a conversation where he said that violence is an artificial construct And that's why he wants to let everybody out of jail. This is also insane. There's no other way around it. This is one of the crazier things you'll hear anybody say, much less somebody running for a fairly significant mayoral position somewhere in the country. But this is full on, like, as hard left as you're going to get. Let's go ahead and play on that audio.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. We have to be very...
No, guys. Sorry about that. Violence is a real thing. And if you let everybody out of jail, you're going to let all the people who didn't just steal a package, but people who committed heinous, horrible, violent crimes and put them back on the street too. And I love that he also says they're accused of a violent crime because all they did was steal a package and then maybe get in a fight with somebody when someone tried to prevent them from taking that package off of someone's doorstep. We can forget about that part. It started because of a package. Let's just talk about that. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. This is Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in.
This is Gary Dick. A big surprise for a southeast Indiana city and major development in downtown Indianapolis and the east side. Those stories and much more coming up at 6:32 Inside Indiana Business.
It's Matt Bear. Good morning. Matt Bear for Trajan.
I don't know if you're trying to talk to me, Carl, but I can't.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Trajan Wealth. When I met with Trajan for the first time, I want to tell you about this. I got straight talk. It wasn't a sales pitch. I left that meeting surprised about how solid I felt about my financial future. And I've struggled in that department. I like how Jeff, my downtown guy at Trajan, really made that effort to get to know me instead of selling me. It provided a feeling of security, and you could have the same by scheduling your first appointment with Trajan Wealth. It's free, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan is a fiduciary, so their advice is built around what's best for you. I spotted the difference, and now I'm a client. Call Trajan Wealth today to learn more about their individualized approach to retirement planning. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Not bad, Craig. I'm looking at northbound 65 on the south side. So far, so good as we make our way through the construction. Now on the east side, this could be a problem. It's a slowdown right now on southbound 465 at I-70. We had a rolled semi-trailer from earlier this morning. As we look at the camera here, we can see this trailer is upright, and yeah, 2 right lanes are still blocked slow from 70 back to 16th Street, so it's not a huge delay here at the moment. If that changes, I will let you know here and at Matt and Traffic. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things bundled today at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. I'm Matt Bear with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock today. Sunny and hot. A high of 91. Of course, it's been hot several days. 76 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Heating and Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month. Or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Don't you know I'm loco?
Tony Katz, the morning news, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in for the day. I'll actually be here with you guys next week as well. You got Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this very program. Lots of stuff out there in the world. I do like this. A study said that parents take 2.5 days to recover from traveling with their family. 2.5 full days after you get back from vacation for you to feel like you're back in some sort of sane mode. I know that Matt and I, Carl, we don't have any kids. So I find this uniquely amusing that this is the discussion that you go on vacation and you need 2.5 days at home to defunk from the vacation stuff.
I'm surprised it takes that. That's all it takes.
Fair enough.
I think about these family vacations when I was a kid. You know where we would go? We'd go to Indiana. And
wait, where were you going from?
We lived in southeast Missouri, so we'd drive through St. Louis, drive through this big crater in Illinois. With all due respect, I know you're from Illinois, Craig, but it would just that area over to Evansville, and then we'd come up to northern Indiana, and we'd ride in that station wagon, my brother and I, that was turned around backwards, where the back seat was facing the other direction.
Yep.
And that would cause nausea and frequent bathroom stops and everything else. And then my folks had to deal with the in-laws. So, these were huge vacations and huge trips. So to decompress from that, I don't envy anybody who has to go through all that. And I know station wagons aren't popular now. But
you know what's weird? And I can't believe this has never come up between us before, Matt. I've been filling in for Tony for years now. I also used to vacation in Indiana before moving there. We went from New Jersey to Indiana, where other family was, and hung out in South Bend, which is now where some of my family actually lives, in South Bend, Indiana. So we would drive across the country as well, stop at a specific Arby's in Ohio because it had a giant slide in it, and eventually make it to Indiana. And then I'd go to a Notre Dame football game with my Uncle Jerry. That's a thing that happened.
That is so cool. I mean, you get to go to, you said South Bend at first. I'm like, nothing against that. I'm kind of like, well,
it's fine.
It's a Notre Dame game, and that's like the football mecca experience, capital of the world. So, I mean, that sounds like a pretty good family vacation to me.
You know what's sad about that is because I was spoiled. Uncle Jerry would take me to one game a year when we go visit them, that I didn't acknowledge the specialness of a Notre Dame football game until I was an adult and like not getting taken every year. Because Uncle Jerry eventually actually moved to Indianapolis and got a different job, which I think he's also a huge fan of Hammer and Nigel. No offense to Tony. He loves Tony. But no offense to Tony. He loves Tony too. But Uncle Jerry is like, when are you filling in on that Hammer and Nigel show? I'm like, they haven't asked me. Uncle Jerry, I'm sorry about that. No, but anyway, he used to take me one time a year, and so it's not special to me, or at least it wasn't, and that was sad. But that's really weird, Matt, that you and I both vacationed in Indiana.
Yeah, it was. And to your point, we would go to Six Flags.
Sure.
Up in Illinois, or we go to the one in St. Louis. And I had no idea where we were at. I just thought everybody went to Six Flags. It was a very self-entitled mentality. I mean, I was just a kid. I didn't know any better. But these places were, entertainment capitals of the world to me when I was a kid. I was like, better than Hollywood,
I do want to say one other thing about the story about the parents needing 2 days to recover, or 2.5 days. And this comes from a guy that doesn't have kids, and it's probably going to make everybody that has kids mad, which is probably not a good move on the radio, but darn it, I can't help it. Here's what I don't like about not having children and then my family. They think I should travel more because there's no kids with me. They're like, oh, you should always travel to see us. We shouldn't go see you. You and your wife can always get in a plane or in a car and come see, and you don't have to bring other people. So why would we ever travel to you? I think that is uniquely unfair. I think that you got to throw the kids in the car like we used to do, like Matt and I used to do, bring them to see me so I don't have to travel to see you.
Well, we're not doing it by plane. I can promise you that.
No.
Have you seen Boeing's track record lately? Or, have you boarded a Southwest flight?
That's true.
Anytime? No, I get that. I mean, and it makes sense. People are like, well, you don't have any kids. Go see the world, travel to a country, see all 50 states. And, I have the same sentiments about my folks who are retired because, obviously they're retired and the 4 kids are, out living their own lives and that kind of thing. It's like, why aren't you doing more? So there's always that compulsion to say something like that, but that's only because you want the best for those kinds of people. You want them to get out and do the thing, live life YOLO, and all that stuff.
You know what I actually think the beauty of aging is, and actually Matt Bear and I are developing a podcast that you might want to listen to in the near future, a WIBC audience that does talk about some aging, as we are both 40 plus. But anyway, Matt, what I think is really funny about this is the older I get, the more I don't care about being proud to do nothing. That's something, it makes me very happy. The older I am, that somebody's like, what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, nothing. I am going to do nothing all weekend, and I'm going to be proud of it. It seems to be a thing that as you get older, like you desire to do very little.
You don't have that fear of missing out.
Not at all.
Okay,
No.
well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
No, it's that's a blessing, man. That's
The internet is there, man. If I feel like I'm missing out on something, I'll pop something up on the internet, I'll look at it, and then I'll stay on my couch.
No, that's great.
No, not for you.
You can be right there at ground zero of any national disaster, international disaster, right there through the internet.
Yeah, I can do anything I want. I can travel anywhere, and then get up and get a soda from my fridge. And that'll sound amazing. You don't feel the same way, Matt? No?
I mean, no, not really. I do have that fear of missing out, but I have different circumstances than everybody else. I've always lived this kind of like vagabond, not isolationist lifestyle, but, I just kind of do me, and that's always been my thing. So, I mean, I want to go see the world and do all these other things while not condemning people like yourself who are able to be still and not feel that fear of missing out. I envy that. I envy the people who are able to do that, and I want to be like them, to not have that feeling like, man, I'm 47 years old, I have to do this, I have to do that, I'm running out of time, because I really do have that feeling. And it's you can wake up with it, you can go to bed with it, and it's not a problem. It's not something that works on me or anything. It's just there. And I'd rather have your idea here, your mentality.
Yeah, I can help you do nothing, Matt. We can train all weekend. I can help you as much as you want. Do nothing for an entire weekend.
It's going to be a great podcast.
It's going to be so good. We're just going to do just dead air the whole time. All right.
Hello, Craig. well, we're done. Yeah.
And we're done. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll take a quick break. A lot more to come on the show. I guess we're not done. Matt's got traffic for us.
All right, Craig. Looking at northbound 465 in the construction zone. Looks pretty good right now. We're starting to slow a little bit of Raymond Street into the south split because of construction. And that area is supposed to close this weekend. Northbound 65 from 465 up to the south split. Supposed to shut down 9 p.m. tonight, then reopen 6 a.m. Monday morning. If that is postponed because of the weather, I will let you know. Southbound 465 east side, slowing down approaching I-70 because of a rolled semi-trailer. 2 right lanes are blocked at the interchange, and the trailer is bright, but we're still going to be slow as cleanup continues. Please try to give them, please try to be as safe as you can as you move past that. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more, anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And this is Casey. Stephen Whitmer from Indy Report will be with us to talk about lots of fun facts and figures on how the politicians are screwing you.
Join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, kicks off with a street party featuring live music, a kids zone, great local food, and more, 6 to 10 p.m. Then fireworks with an amazing grand finale, thanks to the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
The street party is brought to you by Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana. One organ and tissue donor can save 8 lives and heal 75 more. Sign up at donatelifeindiana.org and talk to your family about your decision.
For more info, go to downtownindy.org.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. We are cleaning out inventory. Save up to 50% off Lazy Boys, Smith Brothers, and Flex Steel. And if it's in stock, save up to an extra 25% off. Save up to 20% off Berlin Gardens and Pollywood Outdoor Furniture. And save up to 50% off floor sample mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic. First come, first serve. Sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Emily Kirby is the office manager, and she says making the customer happy is their number one priority and always has been.
That's the goal at Kirby Heating, is we don't want to just come and service your furnace or air conditioner one time. We want to take care of you, and we want to keep you as a customer for a long time.
Give Kirby a try at KirbyHeating.com. Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Hammer and Nigel.
Big, beautiful bill. It's big. It's a bill.
We're going to grow this economy. We're going to spend some money. But you got to spend money to make money.
Does anybody trust the government, Republicans or Democrats, to get it right and do that? But if this were Democrats pushing through another $5 trillion, we'd say, what the hell are you doing? If you don't stop the spending, we're going to run out of money.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The president's agenda is wrapped up in his one big, beautiful bill. The radar is clear. It's warm, 78 degrees downtown, 81 at the airport. We're going up to 91 today. A heat advisory is in effect through tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. President Trump wants Republicans to send him the one big, beautiful bill by the end of next week.
The One Big Beautiful Bill is a codification of President Trump's agenda.
Today I signed this bill into law. Almost every major promise made in the 2024 campaign already will have become a promise kept.
At an event in the East Room, President Trump surrounded himself with Americans the White House says would benefit from provisions of the law, like eliminating taxes on tips and boosting spending on border enforcement.
We're going to hire 3,000 new Border Patrol officers, 10,000 new ICE agents.
But Senate Republicans are wrestling with Medicaid provisions tossed out by the parliamentarian that could delay votes later this week.
And that's Fox's Jared Halpern reporting from the White House this morning. What a Hoosier political leader thinks about the one big beautiful bill.
We are so close to passing President Trump's big beautiful bill here in the U.S. Senate. We are not going to let the Senate parliamentarian or Democrats or even squishy Republicans stand in our way.
And that's Senator Jim Banks utilizing his X account to talk about the legislation or the proposed legislation. Love is not in the air for some people in Venice as one of the world's richest men gets married.
Before the wedding bells, a less harmonious sound. The marriage of Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos to Lauren Sanchez has brought stars like Oprah Winfrey, Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian to Venice. But it's not just A-listers. Protesters are out in force, drawing attention to over-tourism and the threat of climate-induced flooding, plus the effect of this huge event on everyday life. If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax, reads one enormous banner. Tourists like American Crystal Yoder are noticing the impact.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sorry that Venice has to go through that.
Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. 2 weeks ago, the Indiana State Museum and Historic Sites surprised the small town of Metamora by announcing it would stop operating the Franklin County town's beloved Whitewater Canal State Historic Site, citing a $14 million tab to properly renovate the canal. Well, this week, Metamora received another surprise, a notice from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation that the site is in line to win funding through a Lilly Endowment grant. Alan Stenger is president of the Franklin County Chamber of Commerce.
It's unfortunate the state decided, without talking to anybody, put that, on their website that they were going to pull out at the end of the year because, in the background, we were working on getting the $7 million matching grant, which we received.
Elkhart-based Poly Electronics is doubling down on its commitment to advanced manufacturing with a $1.1 million investment in a second surface mount technology assembly line. That move expected to significantly boost production and create up to a dozen new jobs in Elkhart. Kimball Electronics' new Indianapolis site for contract manufacturing for the medical industry is big. How big? Well, Victory Field, home of the Indianapolis Indians, would just about fit perfectly inside the Jasper-based company's new home on the Indianapolis east side. The facility expected to create 345 jobs in its first 6 years of operation. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Indiana's economy is on the move, and every region has a role to play. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business for the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're traveling to 10 regions across the state to spotlight business growth, workforce development, innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. Don't miss this front row look at Indiana's future and the growth opportunities in your region. Find out when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/innovate. Hoosiers shopping for their 4th of July cookout will see slightly higher prices this year. That according to the Indiana Farm Bureau. The organization's annual summer cookout market basket shows residents paying an average of $71.49 for a cookout feeding 10 people this summer. That's about a 5% increase from last year. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Eastside cleanup continues on the rolled semi-trailer southbound 465 at the I-70 interchange. 2 right lanes are blocked, and traffic is stop and go back to Penn Pike. Inbound 69 wide open right now. What's up, Fishers? Looking good from State Road 37 to 465. And a slowdown coming northbound 65 from Keystone Avenue up to Raven. That's because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services. Plus, 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock today. Sunny and hot as well, a high of 91. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 76 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93. WIBC with sports. Ryan Hedrick.
Good morning, Craig. Last night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Final score, LA 85, Indiana 75.
And the Indiana Fever losing another game without Caitlin Clark, who sat out this one with a groin injury. Indiana Fever Radio Network on the call.
We have to have better energy, better focus, and at the end of the day, like, we've shown that we can do it.
Guard Sophie Cunningham talking about blowing another 10-point lead.
You're right. We've had double-digit leads going into the fourth, and then we just let it slip. And so for us, we got to be better from top to bottom.
And the Fever played the Dallas Wings tonight in the NBA draft last night.
Man, I'm just ready to get to Naptown, get to work.
And that is Cam Jones, the 38th pick for the Pacers.
You know, it takes what it takes. I'm excited to get to know those guys out there, man. Build those relationships, build those friendships.
And sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird's a winner. Well, the bird.
Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. A very appropriate song from Carl Showbiz, because the bird rule is the thing that was actually used by a, quote, nonpartisan parliamentarian. Her name is Elizabeth McDonoghue. She's actually appointed by Democrats and definitely seems to be a Democrat. But anyway, she used the bird rule to say that, hey, the big, beautiful bill has to be held up. It has to be the kind of thing that can't be passed via just a simple majority, essentially trying to kill it. The reason why is all the cuts to how Medicare would actually be paid for. She says that's not something that you can just do by moving money from here to there. You got to do it a more official way. And she seems to be absolutely crazy and broken in what she's saying. This doesn't happen often. You don't hear about some unelected official appointed by, I think, Harry Reid in 2020 or 2012 or something, be an individual who can somehow prevent the big, beautiful bill from moving forward. However, there are a lot of Republicans who also seem to be airing some sort of caution here or there, Mitch McConnell among them, which makes you think that he's still on the take for somebody somewhere. Not exactly the most popular Republican in Mitch McConnell. But anyway, so much of this discussion about the bird rule and everything else just makes you feel as though Washington is the dumbest place in the entire country. And we all feel that way, I think. They don't do things that benefit us. And when they do things that prevent them from doing business, it seems to be the stupidest reasons possible for that occurring. They desire to do nothing. If the Senate, if the House could do very little every day, all the time, they'd be quite proud of themselves. At least that's the way it feels when you allow something as dumb as this to potentially impact the big, beautiful bill. But there's certainly going to be more discussion about the bird rule and everything else. And if this can actually pass beyond a simple majority, which it probably cannot, but we'll see. But it's just, it's crazy. And it makes me so mad that I just want to move on. Something else out there that makes me quite frustrated, and I find this very amusing too. Democrats are obsessed with trying to say that Iran wasn't devastated by the strike that President Trump used to literally bury their nuclear program. And so what I think is insane about this is that it's becoming so transparent that they so want Trump to fail, President Trump to, miss on every opportunity that he goes after, that they're cheering against us on an international stage. They'd rather have Iran have a nuclear program that's working, have nuclear weapons, than they would to give Trump a victory. That's how it feels. I have a couple pieces of audio. Adam Kinzinger, one of the idiots who gets rolled out and talks about this. Adam Schiff, I think, also did this. But here's a little bit of audio of them trying to say that it didn't work, or for this reason it's bad. And it's just so remarkable that you can hate President Trump this much that you'd actually want something uniquely bad in society, in the world, to happen more so than Trump to get a victory. No, hold on. Let me actually fix that. Thank you, Carl, for letting me know that wasn't popped up over here. Let's hit this button, and then let's try it again.
He declared victory before we had intelligence assessments, and the worst part is he forced a ceasefire between the parties so that the B-2s couldn't go back for round 2, for instance, if they needed to. Nobody guaranteed that it would just take one round of strikes. The political decision that maybe you have to go back for a second strike was on Donald Trump, and he failed at that.
I'm sorry. That's probably my favorite of the things yesterday, because now they're saying him also not striking again is somehow a problem. Him striking to begin with was a problem. Him not doing enough. The facility is still working. There's another Democrat out there, Eugene Vindman, who is actually saying that he thinks that the nuclear program for Iran might have to go underground. This is also uniquely stupid because the bunker-busting missiles that we use to destroy Iran's nuclear program was, in fact, underground. So this is amazing. I'll play this audio, and then we'll take a break.
I have serious questions about whether we even set back the Iranian nuclear program in any meaningful way, and whether now it's going to go underground and we're in a much more dangerous environment with a covert nuclear weapons program.
We're so much more dangerous in a covert version of something that was already covert, and we obliterated while it was covert. That's absolutely a great point, sir. They hate him so much. They hate President Trump so much they are cheering against our country now just because they don't want him to have wins. And that should matter more to the American people than anything else. That politics can be that extreme. And I know you already think this. I know people are nodding their heads like this isn't new information, but we're just seeing it on a grander scale all the time. All right, quick break, a lot more. This is Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in.
It's hot out there. The weather's hot.
It's really hot.
But the headlines, they're even hotter.
Massive precision strikes.
This was about being clandestine. End the nuclear capability of Iran.
The news of the day is heating up.
Things have gotten super hot out there.
Iran is run by homicidal maniac crazy people.
Stay cool.
Angry at the basketball gods.
Stay informed.
This isn't the way that it was supposed to go down.
Stay with 93 WIBC.
Hey, Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. When I met with Trajan Wealth for the first time, I got straight talk. No sales pitch. I left that meeting surprised about how solid I felt about my financial future, and I've really struggled in that department. I like how Jeff, my downtown guy at Trajan, really made that effort to get to know me instead of selling me. It provided a feeling of security. And you can have the same by scheduling your first appointment. It's free. Trajan Wealth, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan is a fiduciary, so their advice is built around what's best for you. I spotted the difference. Now I'm a client. Call Trajan Wealth today to learn more about their individualized approach to retirement planning. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Matt Bear, how do the roads look?
Craigie side southbound 465 at I-70. Cleanup on a rolled semi-trailer continues with two right lanes blocked. Again, this is east side southbound 465 at I-70. And we are slow, not quite to Penn Pike, but we do have a slowdown there. A little bit of a delay as you make your way through. It looks like the semi-trailer is gone and they have a bunker. bunch of junk to clean up here right now over on the right side of the interstate. So once that's good, hopefully we can get those 2 right lanes open before rush really gets going here. No timetable. We'll see what happens. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock. Sunny and hot, a high of 91. Right now, it is 76 in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105,195. Nautilus MSRP 60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's family-owned jewelry store, is dedicated to quality and fine craftsmanship. Let them help you celebrate that special moment in your life. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Only 2 months to go. Get ready for a day of golf, good times, and giving back at this year's golf outing powered by Franciscan Health, Thursday, August 7th at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Grab your spot now at 1075thefan.com.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. Will you take a coolcation? That's what people online are asking each other. Apparently, a couple social media outlets followed this too. Coolcation is going on vacation to somewhere cold. I feel like if you live in some place like Indiana, even though it's been ridiculously hot here in Indianapolis the last few days, even though that's true, the reason to not go to the coolcation spot is that that's how winter is every year all the time. I feel like that makes people who don't live in, a climate that ever gets that cold more likely to travel than someone in Indiana. But I ask you, are you going to take a coolcation?
Yeah, why the hell would I do that? That's just one more week of winter that's supposed to be in summer. And what, you just hop on a cruise ship to Alaska this weekend?
I guess.
Maybe from the port of the White River or the port of Lake Wawasee and head on up to...
Sure.
I don't see... it doesn't fit into the... it's not practical just to pick up. Now, I guess you could plan something like that, but when you think about that, you're in one of these heat bubbles like we have right now, these 90-degree god-awful hellscapes that we're all sitting in, especially like here in the city where it gets hot, man. It's so hot. But I think it sounds like fun. You're adding a week of winter. Winter rolls around and be like, man, why did I go and,
it's good way. Yeah. And a good way to ask this question. Have you ever walked in like a walk-in fridge?
Oh, yeah.
It feels great in the summer if you have access to one, but then you want to get out. You don't want to stay for very long. You're in there for a few minutes. You're like, oh, this is amazing. And the longer you stay in there, you're like, oh, wait, it's horrible to be this cold. And so That's the truth about the Coolcation. It might sound great in theory, but the minute you get there and it's winter again for a few days, you're not going to like it. It's not going to be any better than summer.
I've seen The Shining. Jack Torrance stuck in the walk-in freezer, man. You don't want that, especially when there are ghosts and demons hunting you. It feels good. It feels good, that sudden blast of cold air. I mean, it's...
Yes.
When I go to the market, I went to the market the other day. It's Needler's up here on New Jersey, downtown Indiana, and I went in and I went straight for the fruit section. Because I know I was going to get some relief. Yeah. And it's the same, you feel like your lungs are going to collapse, but it's still this refreshing, you just want to lay down.
It's a good collapse.
Lay down on the fruit and just nap.
Yeah. I love that. It's a good collapse of the lungs. It's the kind that you want this time of year.
If your lungs are going to collapse.
Some other things out there. A TikToker is claiming that gently pumping your gas as you're driving, meaning flooring it and letting go of the gas, is a way to actually consume less gasoline and get better mileage from your vehicle. This is absolutely not true. But I do have audio of someone claiming this is true on the internet. And darn it, that's all other people needed to do it. Here we go.
God bless the person that said when you're pumping your gas to put it on like the slow setting so it doesn't cause those air bubbles, because do y'all see that? And this was $30. It usually takes me $60 to fill my tank to like 400 miles. I don't remember the name of the creator, but God will bless you. I hope both sides of your pillow are cold tonight when you sleep.
So she's talking about actually putting gasoline in her car as well. With this TikToker, there's another video where they talk about how you pump your gas while you're driving. But both of these things, apparently, according to her and others, save you gas. They do not do this.
Yeah, I got to be in your 20s if you believe that. At a certain level, you pump your gas. Are we sure this doesn't work? Because I'm a little bit compelled here. We're 100%. Okay, it doesn't work at all.
Are you?
I'm not going to save like half of my gas tank, but just by slowly pumping the gas.
AAA has come out and responded to all of these recent claims about saving gas by saying they do not work.
What do they know? It's only AAA.
Stupid AAA.
Stupid AAA rescuing me in the hot sun. I don't know. I mean, even if you knew this, would you remember every time you went to pump your gas? What's the practicality in this? I got to pump slow today. I mean, we're talking about the cold in Indiana. When it's like negative 40 degrees in Indiana, you're not worried about the cost of your gas necessarily.
No.
After you pull into the gas station, you see the sign, then you go in and you pump your gas, and that's all you care about, man.
You want your gas as quickly as possible and get back in the car. I have one more piece of audio. I don't know if we have enough time for it now. We could play it later, but it's a bride and groom that had a unique way to decide whose last name they would take. They played rock, paper, scissors at the altar. As they're getting married, they did a best of 3 of rock, paper, scissors. The woman won. So the guy's going to take her last name with a come-from-behind victory. He won the first round, and she won the second and third round. But the audience at the wedding went insane. I would never, ever let my name be, decided by rock, paper, scissors. I'll play this audio. It's 7 seconds.
Rush, I'm glad to see you take Sue's last name.
That crowd is way too happy. That guy is devastated.
Listen, you do this if you know your marriage is going to fail. So you might as well give everybody who bothered to show up a little bit of entertainment. Because if I saw that, I'd be like, "That's cool. I'll be here for the next one."
Yeah, they're screwed.
Congratulations.
That's hilarious. I love that. Yeah, anything you see decided by rock, paper, scissors at a wedding, these people are not taking this seriously, especially a last name. But all right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got some traffic for us.
Yeah, Craig, overturned semi-trailer continues to be cleaned up on the east side of southbound 465 and I-70. 2 right lanes are closed, and traffic is stop and go back to Penn Pike. Semi-trailer was towed away, but the cleanup continues on the right side of the interstate. Again, slow to Penn Pike. South side, northbound 65 slows Keystone Avenue to Raymond Street. That is a construction zone. And a reminder, that section of 65 is supposed to shut down beginning tonight at 9 p.m. Then reopen Monday morning at 6 a.m. It's just a weekend closure, but a big one. Big time. Northbound 65 scheduled to close beginning tonight from 465 to the south. But it might get put off because of the weather. If that happens, I will let you know. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month. Or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
Hey, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing. Lance Smith joins me right now. No, we're not related, but I'd be proud to call him my son, my uncle, my cousin, whatever. Lance, welcome to the studio.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, sump pumps, they're coming up. You guys, it's probably time to get your sump pump special. You brag on this every year.
Yep, it's a real deal. Free primary sump pump with the purchase of a battery backup system. Simple as that. No hidden labor fees or anything like that. 317-927-7186 or ldsmithplumbing.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. It was recently Father's Day weekend, and I'm sure you have heard the old adage or the old saying that father knows best. Now, I do know you can gain a lot of wisdom from your father's past experiences and advice, but does father know best in today's financial world? Join me on this weekend show to find out as we honor Father's Day by sharing some very good fatherly advice on retirement planning. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's. 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 Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what forecasters are saying about severe weather chances, what a Democratic counselor is saying about a vote, what the cops are saying about a chase and a crash, and what's coming to Nashville, Indiana that you should know about. All those stories after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis on a Friday morning. It's 7 o'clock.
A working weekend. CJ Papa, Fox News. Senators will be at the Capitol trying to figure out how to pass the president's one big, beautiful bill.
These reforms will protect or create more than 7 million jobs, add 3.1% to economic growth, reduce taxes for the typical American by nearly 15%.
President Trump during an event at the White House in support of the spending plan. Fox's Chad Pergram has more.
It's a big, beautiful riddle. The Senate hoped to start debate on the bill, but it's not done. The Senate referee nixed provisions to control Medicaid expenses. That sent Republicans scrambling to fix the bill. Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough rejected language to bar illegal immigrants from Medicare and Medicaid coverage. GOP Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville demanded the Senate fire McDonough. Some Republicans won't let debate start until they get answers. House conservatives are fuming at the Senate. They refuse to let the Senate change the House bill and then expect the House to accept their version.
And Chad just reporting it's not clear if the Senate will vote to begin debate on the bill today, which could delay its passage. And the president wants swift justice for the leaker claiming Operation Midnight Hammer didn't accomplish its goal.
President Trump is calling out the left after intelligence about the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear sites was leaked to the press. The president posting, quote, "The Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the nuclear sites in Iran. They should be prosecuted." The FBI is now investigating the leak, and the White House is now tightening its circle, saying they will limit access to classified information to Congress. Senators did receive a closed-door classified briefing yesterday. It was led by CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Joint Chiefs Chair General Dan Kane. But Republicans and Democrats remain divided over Iran's nuclear capability.
Fox's Brooke Seaman, America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Severe storms could impact your drive home. Your radar is clear, 78 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Another warm one today, going up to 91. A heat advisory remains in effect through 8 o'clock tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick, and here's what's trending at 7:02.
Can't rule out an isolated damage of wind gusts, some small hail, and some localized flooding. Any storms that develop later today as the system starts to move into the area.
Forecaster Greg Mello, National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
Really, it's all across Indiana. We'll have a boundary that moves into the area later today, so we'll have an increase in thunderstorms towards the afternoon. But really, I would say late afternoon and then into the evening hours would be our best chance to see thunderstorms across the area.
And Mello says you can expect another hot day, the 7th straight day with temperatures over 90 degrees. The city county council voted to kick one of their own out of the caucus.
I was not in the room when any votes were taken or deliberated on. I was asked to step out of the room 2 or 3 times, if I recall. So I can't speak to exactly what the vote was and the description of it.
On Thursday, Councilor Krista Carlino spoke with IndyPolitics.org about a push by fellow council members to force her to apologize for a comment that she made about a committee that was hired to look into sexual harassment in Mayor Joe Hogsett's office.
As far as I know, I'm still on committees.
And Carlino says she still thinks that Mayor Hogsett needs to resign. A police chase, a crash, and a fatality in Sheridan Thursday morning. John Herrick has the details.
The Sheridan Police Department initiated a traffic stop on a stolen vehicle.
Public Information Officer Brian Melton with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office said the driver in that GMC Chevy pickup eventually crashed in Veterans Park in Sheridan after the cops began chasing him.
And then once officers found the vehicle, they ran up to the vehicle to check on the driver, immediately called for fire department and rendered aid to the driver. At that time, the driver of the vehicle a little bit later passed away due to injuries sustained in the crash.
He says they're still gathering information on it, so if you can be of help, give them a call. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There are lots of cops right now along Washington Street where a hit and run took place, and IMPD says somebody is in bad shape. They were on a bicycle when they were hit by the car about 5 a.m., and the person that hit them did not slow down to check on them. For the first time, a major food sport competition is coming to Nashville, Indiana. Terry Stacy with those details.
Hard Truth Distilling Company in Nashville is partnering with the World Food Championships to host the Charred Truth Live Fire Invitational on Saturday.
Over 30 competitors from all over the world. Over the course of the day, cooking away over their live fire rigs, But the great thing is every general admission ticket comes with 4 free samples for the people's choice.
Ian McCabe says doors open at 11. Hardtruth.com for tickets. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Fever could not get it done without Caitlin Clark losing to the LA Sparks 85-75. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
Please be careful if you're heading down 38th Street near Capitol Avenue. We have a 2-car crash. One of them's rolled and possible in traffic. Again, 38th and Capitol Avenue. Right now, Capitol doesn't look too badly. That's a southbound one-way coming down from 38th. And 38th Street a little slow in the eastbound lanes as we approach, but as I understand, just happened a few short moments ago. So please be careful heading through that area. On the east side, southbound 460. 5 and 70, an overturned semi-trailer cleanup continues. It looks like the trailer's gone, but they're still sweeping up on the right side of the interstate. This has caused a slowdown back to Penn Pike, delayed 2 minutes. Northbound 65 slow from the south side, South Keystone Avenue up to Raymond Street. That is a construction zone. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 7 minutes. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning. Boy, it's a mild and muggy start this morning. We'll look for some sunshine early on, partly cloudy skies this afternoon. A spotty shower or thunderstorm possible once again. High temps near 92 with feels like temps into the triple digits. We will look for those storms to end early on tonight. We'll drop to 73. And then heading into the weekend, the heat advisory no longer in place. High temperatures near 89 on Saturday. We drop the humidity values a little bit. Spotty showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. An isolated shower on Sunday, partly cloudy with highs near 90. Pattern shifts next week. We'll drop the humidity and also return to normal temperatures through the middle part of next week.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tara. Right now, it is 7:07 Friday morning. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. A bunch of stuff to talk about. Stay safe and all the heat that's been going on the last few days. That is certainly a topic of conversation pretty much everywhere. Everyone is saying that, throughout the whole country, that it's just very hot and very terrible this time of year. So do everything you can, once again, to stay safe. There are a few bigger stories out there. The U.S. and China have formalized a deal on rare earth shipments in trade breakthrough. This is another success for President Trump. Another one that you click on the old chalkboard and people on a certain side of the political aisle refuse to acknowledge this as well. But this is a big deal. And I'll talk about this for just a second. The reason that Trump is so good at getting so many of these things from beginning to end is because people believe he'll do anything. Like that's actually true. What happened in Iran, the strike that occurred that devastated their nuclear program, was President Trump living up to the narrative that he's willing to do things and take action when other people would just say words and not actually do anything. And that is uniquely beneficial to him as the commander-in-chief of the army, as the leader of our country, et cetera, et cetera. The same holds true with China. He'll do anything. The tariffs were another really good example of that. I honestly think the first year of the Trump administration has been as interesting or as active as it's been, partly because he wanted to remind the world of who he is and how he's different than Biden or anyone else. I think that's why you had so many things take place and are likely to see more action from the White House, maybe throughout the entirety of his 4 years in office. But this is absolutely and profoundly, to me, the reason why he's so successful in these sort of things, because he's willing to go the step that others won't. I do have a little bit of audio from the White House press secretary talking about the playbook that's been run before, leaks and whatnot. This is in response to a no confidence report early on after the strike in Iran that claimed that it wasn't as successful as it actually was. Other intelligence after that we have higher confidence in has been put out that says we did a great job of burying their nuclear program. What's crazy about it is the press, everybody knows this. They know the initial reporting from intelligence, if they can get it, which unfortunately they can. It's been leaked this way, is the only thing they want to run on, the only thing they want to talk about. They want to push the actual truth as far under the carpet as they can, so that you only listen when they claim that they only have certain information, and then you stop listening. That's their hope when they're supposed to report the actual truth after they have it. But here's Carolyn Levitt just a little bit talking about this.
Confidence preliminary intelligence assessment, and the entirety of that assessment was not leaked to the media. Only tidbits of that assessment were leaked to CNN. And we have seen this playbook run before, where you have people in the intelligence community, or perhaps on Capitol Hill, we don't know, but I believe the FBI is investigating to find out who that leaker was, because it's illegal and they should be held accountable for that. Leaked bits and pieces of an intel assessment to push a false narrative. And it's to the same reporter, I will add, Natasha Bertrand of CNN, who has done this in the past. In 2020, it was Natasha Bertrand who had 51 intelligence analysts falsely lie to her, but she still put it on paper for some reason, that the Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation.
I love the Hunter Biden laptop story. And the reason why is it's such a great example of how much crap Democrats are full of in so many different ways. One of the best ones is that one, where 51 intelligence analysts were like, it's not real. It's Russian disinformation. And then you fast forward in time, and the U.S. government is using that laptop as evidence against Hunter Biden in a court case about him, which you couldn't be more different. You couldn't get from point A to point B more dramatically, of saying it's not real, it's Russian disinformation, to we're going to need it as proof in a courtroom that you did some illegal things. It's insane. This is insane. And there's so many versions of this, but this is the latest one, the low confidence report that's cherry picking information. And I like the way that Carolyn Levitt actually says it there, because she's giving the excuse to media that they didn't have the whole thing and just choose the narrative they want. I don't believe that. I'm more of the opinion that they probably got sent the entire thing, picked out what they liked, and just ran with that. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
From marshmallow festivals to fireworks on the shore. No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. During Hubler's Freedom to Drive, shop any of our 13 locations and choose from Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and more. Over 2,000 vehicles. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're headed this summer, Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles during our Freedom to Drive. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over
a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Craig, I'm looking at a crash. It's 38th at Capitol Avenue. I'm told 2 cars involved, 1 rolled, and it looks like it's over on the left side of 38th Street here right now, and that is if you are going to be going eastbound. So just be careful when you go through this intersection. Very popular as Capitol Avenue is out southbound one way into downtown. Looking at the east side, southbound 465 at I-70. Crash cleanup continues on a rolled semi-trailer. It's at I-70, blocking 2 right lanes, slowing us back to Penn Pike. Northbound 65 now coming up slow from South Keystone Avenue into the south split. That's a construction zone. Same with southbound 6570 as we get into the construction into the south split. We are slow back to Washington Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, bud. Scattered showers, thunderstorms mainly after 3 o'clock. Sunny, hot, high of 91. Heat advisories are still in effect in Indianapolis. 76 right now in downtown Indy. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. 93 WIBC.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024
Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP 105-195. Nautilus MSRP 60-195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Lots of stuff to talk about. Boer Remodeling Company brings you the popcorn moment. I'm going to steal Tony's catchphrase. If it's within your 4 walls, they're your only call. 317-852 5546 is the phone number. 317-852-5546. BooerRemodeling.com. That's BOOOHER building.com. BooerBuilding.com. All right, let's do the popcorn moment. I got one. Thank you. There we go. It was an epic rant from just yesterday from the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, talking about how ridiculous it is that we're crapping on the military, moves that buried Iran's nuclear program, because it also is a disservice to our men and women who fight for this country and the trained pilots who fly 36 hours on behalf of the American people to take out a facility like that and risk their lives, by going into enemy territory, essentially. Here we go.
There's a reason the president calls out fake news for what it is. These pilots, these refuelers, these fighters, these air defenders, the skill and the courage it took to go into enemy territory flying 36 hours on behalf of the American people and the world to take out a nuclear program is beyond what anyone in this audience can fathom. And then the instinct of CNN, the instinct of the New York Times is to try to find a way to spin it for their own political reasons, to try to hurt President Trump or our country. They don't care what the troops think. They don't care what the world thinks. They want to spin it to try to make him look bad based on a leak. Of course, we've all seen plenty of leakers. And what do leakers do? They have agendas. And what do? Do they share the whole information or just the part that they want to introduce. And when they introduce that a preliminary report that's deemed to be a low assessment, you know what a low assessment means? Low confidence in the data in that report. And why is there low confidence? Because all of the evidence of what was just bombed by 12 30,000-pound bombs is buried under a mountain, devastated and obliterated. So if you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel and go really.
I'm sorry. I love that last part. You better get a big shovel and go digging and figure out what actually is down there, if it's down there at all. Something that Iran will take a long time to do, but something that is absolutely buried. I love every part of this. And honestly, it is ridiculous, the amount to which so many seem to want to discredit Trump at all costs at, any line whatsoever. And so they do things like this. And it is uniquely even kind of crazy. If you listen to that whole press conference from yesterday, Hegseth and other military leaders went into not only how, important it is to make sure to acknowledge the success of the operation, but how many years went into actually executing this. The people who developed the bombs that were used, the bunker buster bombs, have been dreaming of using them against Iran in this capacity for years, and have developed and retested these items, these unique, missiles, to make sure that they were capable of the mission when they were finally given the green light, something Trump just gave them the other day. But they have been working on this for a very long time for this exact reason. All right, I'm going to move on to other stuff. A couple quick things here. I thought this was interesting, and I just find it very funny. A TikToker on social media is saying that you need to turn your phone into landline mode. This would be your cell phone. And the way you go about turning your phone into landline mode is you leave it in a spot in your house and you don't answer it if you're not at home, because the phone stays and you go. So you turn it into a landline telephone. I love that kids are figuring this out and thinking that this is some brand new, amazing concept. And most of us remember growing up with a landline version of a phone and how much better it was to not be contactable all the time. It is better. But I love the fact that young people are like, oh my God, have you discovered this? Leave it at home mode, landline mode, which is a thing that we probably should still have in our society.
Do these phones have rotary dial?
They do not. They should have rotary dial. That'd be awesome,
if they
Carl,
go landline.
if they did. You know what's funny about that is I think there's a lot of young people who wouldn't know how to use those phones.
It's like, what's this?
Yeah, like why is there like, weird things on here? Where's the touchscreen? But I just love the fact that so many people are saying they also want dumb phones now, especially younger people, because maybe we should all go back to that. Like maybe we should have a set of rules. Maybe there's a day, I think I've joked about this before on this show and other ones, where we all just leave the phones at home as an entire society. No one can be contacted unless you're actually in your house, and we just live the normal way. People start calling restaurants they think you're at to reach you. All that would be great. I think we should do that once a year at least, have everybody play along, and no one can get mad.
Sounds like the purge for telephones.
It should be.
It's.
Are you in on that, Matt, or no?
Yeah, only if we can bring back the phone booth. The phone booths are magical places. I mean, you could find anything in a phone booth, including hepatitis. And it was just one of those things.
Mostly hepatitis.
Just walking by a phone booth that was ringing in the dark, just anonymously.
Oh,
yeah. You know something's about to go down, man. Something fun, exciting, and adventurous coming up. Maybe you'll solve a case or a crime. I mean, phone booths were awesome. I miss the phone booth. I mean,
Do you remember, I don't know if you ever did this, so I'm going to ask you if you remember it, and hopefully you did it like I did, calling collect from a phone booth and saying you forgot to pick me up, and that's all you tell somebody? You don't say your name. You just go, when it says name time, you forgot to pick me up, and then mom would know she's got to come get you at school or wherever you are.
I never did that, no. So
okay.
You would make the collect call, and where you put your name, you would say, you forgot to pick me up. That's what you would say for the name. Oh,
I would just yell that into the phone, and then it would go to Ma, and Ma would get it, and she'd decline the charges, of course, and then pick me up wherever she forgot me.
I was going to say 2 hours later, Ma still hasn't shown up. She understood the message clearly, still not going to go pick you up at school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
My mom is going to claim this didn't happen, by the way. I think she's actually texting me already saying that never happened. I remember some version of that. I don't know if it was forgot to pick me up, but there's something. I also took a taxi to a basketball practice in 4th grade.
Good Lord.
I don't know if I've ever told this story on the radio. Have I ever talked about this before?
No.
Okay. I was committed to basketball at 10 years old. I was going to be the next Michael Jordan. So much so that I remember one night my single mom who was, going to school and working a full-time job and just very busy, couldn't take me to an evening basketball practice. And I called her like crying on the phone. And she was like, well, you could take a taxi. And so as a 10-year-old child, I got a taxi and it showed up at the house and I went to the basketball practice. And then I think my mom picked me up to take me home. But I still to this day remember being proud of myself. And I remember my coach being like, look at this dedication to this child. He's probably going somewhere in basketball, only for that not to happen.
You didn't get pointed out in front of the rest of the team being like, look at this guy.
I did.
You did get pointed out. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I called the coach crying, too, and I'm like, I can't go to practice. Man, I did the anti-AI.
This is like a Dickens novel. I mean, it's
Thank
just,
you, sir.
I think it's cool you got the acknowledgement in front of your team. I mean, that's fun.
I don't know if I wanted that. Yeah, and to be honest, man, at that moment in my life, everybody thought I was going somewhere in basketball, and then it didn't happen. So I probably shouldn't have taken the taxi.
How tall
I should have
are
just
you?
stayed at home. Now, Tom, hey, that doesn't matter. What are you talking about, Carl? Spud Webb was 5'3". I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10". In fourth grade, I was short, too, actually.
I wanted to play football for Bear Bryant, and that didn't happen either, man. So
okay.
I feel you.
How close did you get, Matt?
Let's see. I was a starting guard for the 9th grade football team.
Crushed it.
It might have been 8th grade, but I didn't get much further than that. So, yeah.
We should do that. We should do that segment at some point, like our biggest sports achievement in our life. How old were you and what was it? Because that'd be a good segment. All right, we'll take a break. A lot coming up. Matt's got some traffic for us.
All right, Craig, I'm watching out for 38th and Capitol, and that wouldn't be. You got to be careful when you go through here right now. Crash cleanup continues. It's a 2-vehicle crash. One vehicle is overturned, and it's just a little tricky to get by. Both sides of 38th are open right now. Just one's going to be a little bit slow. That's what I'm told. Overturned semi-trailer cleanup continues on the east side. This is southbound 465 and I-70. 2 right lanes are blocked. The trailer's gone. They towed it away, and cleanup continues on the mess. So traffic right now is slow back to Penn Pike. Northbound 65 on the south side slows from Raymond Street into the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel Show, more on the dysfunction in the Hogsett administration, and it's Beer Sample Friday, 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Masters Heating and Cooling is ready to make sure you are cool and comfortable all summer long. They took great care of my system, and they can help you make sure that everything is ready to go to ensure a nice, comfortable summer and then a very comfortable winter. I've worked with their general manager, David, numerous times, and it has always been a pleasure. And right now, you can get $500 off a new AC system. And if you've worked with Masters before and you've spent more than $500 on AC repairs in the last year, you can apply that amount as a credit towards a new system as well. Masters Heating and Cooling makes it easy. They've got flexible financing options and 24/7 service, so no matter what your issue, Masters Heating and Cooling is right there to take care of you and your family. Give Masters Heating and Cooling a call. 317-567-9505. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-567-9505. Or request service online at mastersindy.com. mastersindy.com.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Tony Katz here for Premier Arms in Brownsburg. This is your premier gun store. Premier Arms has the experience and know-how to help the new gun buyer and the most experienced marksman. They've been in business for over 20 years and have a friendly, knowledgeable staff that wants to help you, not talk down to you. Premier Arms in Brownsburg is family-friendly, so bring the kids. All ages are welcome. Everyone can find what they're looking for at Premier Arms in Brownsburg, 3754 South Green Street, online at premierarms.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, premierarms.com.
Trump country is booming.
We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you, up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The punishment should fit the crime. Your radar is clear. It's 77 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 93 today. A heat advisory is still in effect, and that won't expire until about 8 o'clock tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31.
The real question is that somebody at DIA that leaked that to the press? Is that a member of Congress that obtained that document and leaked that to the press? And the FBI is all over that.
And that is Florida Rep. Greg Steube from talking to Fox Business about what he thinks should happen to the person who leaked top secret U.S. plans about the Iran strike to the press at the White House on Thursday.
Flanked by everyday workers, the president talking up his big, beautiful bill.
We'll deliver a record tax cut, a record spending cut, a record investment in border security.
And revealing a new trade deal with China, although with very few specifics.
In the China deal, we're starting to open up China, things that never really could have happened.
But his administration is still talking about his strikes on Iran, doing damage control on an unfavorable but low confidence damage assessment. The FBI now searching for the leaker in the intelligence community and on Capitol Hill, as the White House plans to limit sharing classified information with Congress.
Fox News' Aisha Hasni reporting from the White House this morning. A Major League Baseball player received his verdict in court on Thursday.
Wander Franco, the suspended Tampa Bay Rays shortstop, was found guilty Thursday on sexual abuse charges. Franco, who was arrested last year in the Dominican Republic after he was accused of having a 4-month relationship with a girl who was 14 at the time, received a 2-year suspended sentence. Franco was also accused of transferring thousands of dollars to the girl's mother to consent to the relationship. The mother was found guilty and will serve a 10-year sentence. In November 2021, Franco signed an 11-year contract worth $182 million, but he was put on the restricted list after being arrested, cutting off his pay.
That's Fox's Joe Morgan reporting. A criminal enterprise was one that the cops say was short-lived. Here's Chris Davis.
Bringing fentanyl-laced oxycodone pills into Indiana from Arizona. That drug trafficking operation stopped with the sentencing of Darionte Mathis to 11 years in the federal pen and Ernest Gilbert to 5 years. Gilbert was the man in Arizona, either driving or flying the pills to Evansville, and Mathis, an experienced criminal, would make sure the pills got sold. When the cops raided Mathis's place in Indiana, they found the pills stashed inside a child's toy. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And this just into the WIBC News Center. A child has died after an early morning shooting in Cumberland. Police say the shooting was accidental. The average price for gas across Indiana is $3.30 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. That's up 21 cents from where it was just this Monday. And sports on WIBC brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White speaking to the press after the Fever lost to the LA Sparks 85-75 without their star Caitlin Clark.
I think that we haven't shown a killer instinct yet, and that's we have had a tendency to relax in those moments instead of, for lack of a better term, go for the kill.
And Coach White says that she's frustrated with how careless her team has been with the basketball.
Have either taken poor shots or not valued every opportunity we have to score. We've had breakdowns on the defensive end of the floor. It's moments of mental lapses or mental relaxation.
And the Fever get another shot against the Dallas Wings tonight. No telling if Caitlin Clark will play. The Indiana Pacers picked a boxer last night with the 38th pick. His name is Cam Jones, and he's not a pro boxer, but he told ESPN that boxing has actually helped him with his basketball game.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to Coach Angel, man. Did a lot of training with him over the years. I really think boxing, takes on that killer instinct, that killer mindset, that toughness you need. And, I've been in there a lot, man. It's definitely been a help to my career.
And he was their 38th pick. With the 54th pick, they selected Talon Peter from Liberty. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level on the go and at WIBC.com. At 7:35, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
What's up, Brian? Looking at southbound 465 on the east side. Cleanup continues on a rolled semi-trailer at I-70. 2 right lanes are blocked. The trailer's gone. There's still a bunch of junk on the right side of the interstate that they have to sweep up. Traffic is stop and go back to Penn Pike. Construction zone on the south side, northbound 65. Slow from South Keystone Avenue into the south split. A reminder that section of 65 is supposed to close this weekend beginning 9 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. Monday morning. Again, that's northbound 65, northbound only from 465 to the south split. Southbound 6570 loaded Michigan Street into the south split again because of construction and a crash 38th Street at Capitol Avenue. 2 cars involved, 1 overturned, and right now 38th Street open in both directions. Just be careful as you drive on by. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock. Sunny and hot. A high of 91 today. 76 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Yes, absolutely. There you go. This is the Marketplace segment, 93 WIBC. Tony Katz, the Morning News. It is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, and the music is on purpose. IndianaUnclaimed.gov to go get sweet, sweet cash that you don't know you have out there. I got some in my name from when I lived in Indiana, even though I haven't lived there for years now. So go to Indiana Unclaimed and find out if you got some money. The first one, I have more than one today. I don't know why. But the first one is a Star Wars R2-D2 humidifier. This is something you can put in your home that will probably show the nerd that you are in your life to anybody that's around you. It is for pickup for $10 out of the 46221 area code or zip code. So just in Indianapolis, R2-D2, full-sized humidifier. What do we say about this?
It has a little knob. Kind of looks like a radio that you would turn on. That's right there on your nightstand. The humidifier looks like the little knob is where his robot parts are. Special robot parts.
Yes, the knob is in an inopportune spot for R2-D2.
Thank you, Carl.
It's not great.
Big, beautiful R2-D2 legs, strong, firm legs.
That's right.
A chest that just pulses the robotness of the R2. I like it for $10. I want them to mail it to me. I don't want to go. Where do I have to go? It says Indianapolis,
46221.
Oh, that shouldn't be bad.
Yeah, it's in Indianapolis, Indiana.
I live here.
46221. Zip code.
Hey, can I ask you a question about Star Wars? I was thinking about this with all the Iran talk and everything. The man-eating Sarlacc on Tatooine. Why didn't the Empire just you know what I'm talking about, the big vicious thing that came out of the ground?
Here's the thing, Matt. You just said a bunch of words, and my brain wanted to be nice and be like, yes, I remember the Zarlak.
The
thing.
Sarlacc, yeah.
But I don't remember that thing. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. No, but continue.
Luke Skywalker, he almost got tossed into the Sarlacc for being pissing off Jabba the Hutt. And
I remember that.
Yeah,
that's when Leia's wearing the bikini.
Yes. In fact, that's
okay.
exactly.
I remember that.
I just, I was thinking. Thank you, Carl. I was thinking, why didn't like the Empire just drop a bunker buster into the Sarlacc, and just completely wipe it out? Because there's like this horrible carnivorous creature that lives underneath the sand, and that has to be some sort of traffic obstacle as you go through the desert and everything.
That's got to be.
You'd just be like, hey, there's a Sarlacc. It's like that's not doing us any good. So you put a bunker buster in there.
Well, see,
boom!
look. So I've seen the movies. So why wouldn't they just shoot it with the Death Star? Wouldn't that kill it?
Well, I think you'd blow up the whole planet, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, it's kind of you wipe out the whole planet. It's like. Yeah,
you think you could turn it down like a lower setting for the Death Star, so it was just like the injury star
like
or
your
something?
Thermostat.
You could lower it. Like, guys, we don't want to blow up the whole planet. We just want to kill I don't even know the name. Is it the Zarlacc? Is that what you're saying?
The Sarlacc, Tatooine, man.
Okay.
Tatooine.
Yep, sure.
Great
memories. I love when Star Wars guys do that. Are you a Star Wars guy, Matt, or no?
The first 3 movies, yeah. I saw the very first movie ever, Star Wars, in the theater. Thank you very much. That was me. I was there.
Sure. Nice. Look at you. Very nice.
YOLO.
Yeah. I love when you say Tatooine a bunch. Like, that should mean something more to me. You're like, Tatooine, Craig. Come on, buddy.
Come on,
That's
Tatooine. I mean, dummy.
I have one more marketplace thing. It's not a Star Wars thing, although there is a Darth Vader cookie jar that's also out there for marketplace right now. I don't know why that's a thing. But someone is selling a Someone's selling a Taco Bell sign that looks like it was taken from a store for $400. This is in Aurora, Indiana. If you want a giant Taco Bell, 4.5 foot wide by 5 feet logo thing, it's available.
The guy at the pawn shop.
I don't know why you'd want this.
He got thrown out of the pawn shop bringing that thing.
Yeah.
No.
Just for a second, envision that some guy went rogue on Marketplace, bought a bunch of stuff that the missus then has to sort through when it gets to the house. A Taco Bell sign, the R2-D2 thing. Like this, you could get in so much trouble and spend less than $500.
I've got a sign at home that says Mithofer Road. You don't know what I went through to get it. It's not great. I mean, it's like when you were a kid, you wanted to get those. I mean, that would be fun in a fraternity house. It's like, Taco Bell. Guess where we're going at 3 a.m? We're wasted.
Right.
And guess where you're going after Taco Bell?
There you go.
That was shoehorned in.
That was. Okay, that was great. Yeah, Carl set himself up there. That was well done. All right. So yeah, Taco Bell sign, Darth Vader cookie jar, and R2-D2 humidifier, and a bunch of jokes. And Tatooine, all mentioned in this segment.
Unclaimed Indiana, we love you so much, Indiana Unclaimed.
We do. We love you. Dude, I got free money from Indiana Unclaimed.
I did too from this. I lived in this shoebox up in Warsaw, Indiana that I was able to get $100 out of. I rented. I don't know why that was my money, but I got it from Indiana Unclaimed Indiana, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know why. I also felt that way. I don't know why it was my money. And to be honest, as you're going in, you're like, is this real? And it's definitely real. They send you a check with your name on it for money that Indiana owes you. So you should not let Indiana keep this money.
I totally expect to be charged with a crime here the next couple of weeks, but it's
me too.
For now, it's my money, baby. That's all I'm saying. No, it's an awesome service and good for the Attorney General for putting it together. It's really cool.
There you go. Amen. I'm spending it on my R2-D2. Right, Matt? That's what you're going to throw it out on?
Exactly.
That
they mail it.
Okay.
Maybe.
Fantastic, buddy. Yeah, you're not going to pick it up. How dare they? Quick break. A lot coming up. This is Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Indiana law provides legislators with certain immunities from civil arrest during specific periods.
Facts on the table.
What year is this? 1872?
Feelings to the side.
They have to have a special law so that they don't go off the deep end.
And whatever nonsense needs calling out.
But yet, trust them when they say they're looking out for your best interest.
Kendall and Casey.
These people are on the up and up when it comes to voting for us.
Weekdays from 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, Craig. Crash cleanup continues on the east side at southbound 465 at I-70. It was a rolled semi-trailer. Trailer's gone. 2 right lanes are still blocked for cleanup, and traffic is stop and go back to Penn Pike. It is a 7-minute delay. A vehicle rolled 38th at Capitol. 2-car accident. 1 car is overturned. Everything's open as far as the streets go. You may have a lane restriction as you head through there. Please be safe as they wrap this up. Northbound 65, it is a construction zone from South Keystone Avenue to the South Split. That is stop and go traffic in a delay of 5 minutes. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock. Sunny, hot, high of 91 today. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 76 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. Get a business insurance quote online in as little as 7 minutes. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. You got Matt and Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this show. I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path here. I don't know that Tony Katz is talking about this all that often. But Sabrina Carpenter is in the news. She's the singer, blonde woman, famous, 26 years old, for anyone that's going to ask those questions as we go in here. But she's been criticized a lot. I think she used to be on the Disney Channel. I think that's maybe how she got her start. And anybody who starts on the Disney Channel and then goes on to some sort of profession where they inevitably, lean into any sort of sexualizing of themselves, create controversy. Sabrina has been doing that recently. She now has a Dunkin' Donuts commercial that people are saying is too sexually, charged. I don't know how to say that different. A Dunkin' Donuts commercial that people feel is overly suggestive. I can play it for you. A couple quick notes. The mumbling you hear in the background is on purpose. Sabrina is pretending to be someone who answers the phone at a Dunkin' Donuts hotline. And then the very suggestive edit toward the tail end of this audio is also done on purpose. But this is a nationally airing commercial, so we'll go ahead and play it here, and then we'll react to it. Is this overly sexualizing someone who is 26 now, but became famous for being on the Disney Channel?
Hello there, Dunkin' Daydream Hotline. What can I do for you today? Oh. You're hot. Oh. I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I get the point.
I think I know what you're really
You want me to-
craving.
Wait a minute, Matt. Do you want me to stop it? Or you want me to do the whole rest of the
But
thing?
I totally see what she said.
You think you know where this is going? I think I
Yeah.
figured out where this is going. By the way, she's twirling her hair in the video that you can't see and sipping her Dunkin' Donuts coffee item. All right.
A strawberry daydream refresher. I'm sorry, did you creamy cold foam and strawberry
On
bliss.
purpose.
Sabrina's strawberry daydream refresher.
Uh-huh.
Only at Dunkin'.
I'm not going to explain why they edited it the way they did, but people are saying that's overly suggestive, overly sexual, and a person that shouldn't be doing this, even though she's a 26-year-old woman who's putting out a lot of, music that's also about romance. Let's call it romance. What do you say about this, Matt Bear?
Did you ever see a Britney Spears video, a Miley Cyrus video, any of these other Disney stars? Did you see Wrecking Ball? Did you see the video?
Yeah,
She's
I did.
licking a wrecking ball in this
She is.
video. Miley
Right.
Cyrus is. I wasn't offended when Danica Patrick did GoDaddy. I'm not offended by this. Dunkin' Donuts is trying to sell coffee. I get it. As far as everything else, as far as being suggestive, I don't know when they're running these commercials, what kind of programs, but being a former Disney star, this is a grown woman now. She's old enough to make these kind of decisions for herself, and hopefully that's what's happening. I don't see what the problem here is if it's working for Dunkin' Donuts. Well, obviously it's working. We're talking about it here.
Well, I'll be
something's
honest.
going on. I mean,
I'll be honest. I love the fact that you referenced like the GoDaddy Super Bowl commercials with Danica Patrick, because I did find out what GoDaddy was, and it let you like create a website. And I think I had a couple different websites throughout my life for like a company I started and whatnot. That was because of Danica Patrick. I wouldn't have known what GoDaddy was and wouldn't have gone there without it. I don't know that this makes me want to buy Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You know, I don't know if it's the same thing. I think she absolutely has the right to do it. I think it's crazy that there's controversy around it. But I am curious if it's actually effectively selling something. And I don't know. But social media is just littered with a bunch of overly sexualized people. And that's successful. So if you saw this on like TikTok, I imagine it's going to do quite well because it's Sabrina Carpenter, an attractive 26-year-old woman doing something that leans into, something suggestive.
it makes me want to buy something. I know that. I think the rub here would be that she's a former Disney star. Again, that's a big thing because, she's entertaining, impressionable teenage girls, and this would be an issue. And if I were a parent, I might take issue with it. I might very well do that. But at the end of the day, when you hit your 20s and God gave you looks, if you're going to go make money off that, I can't get mad at you. I can't get mad about how you make your money. That's your decision. And again, this is another thing that's really hard for parents because my folks didn't have social media to deal with when I was a kid. And I don't know how I think of all the inappropriate things I say in public, like not so much on the radio, but like how awkward I am in casual conversation, just like regular chit chat. You take that, you put teenage me on social media, it's a recipe for disaster.
Sure.
So my parents didn't have to deal with that. So all of a sudden they have the social media, the TikTok, and now they have this woman who's made an impression on their teenage daughter.
It's true.
In the sexualized commercial for Dunkin' Donuts. While Dad's going and buy the donuts, he's going to say we may have a problem here. So yeah, I get it. Without being a parent, I understand how that caused some angst.
Sure.
But at the same time, this has been going on for a long time.
Right, yeah, and you can't control what the famous person does with their fame. And if you want to do that, that's not going to work out well for you. One other quick thing, I do love this story too. Researchers in China claim that they can clear a sinus infection and/or a cold. They just have one little thing they need you to do: accept a injection of microscopic robots into your nose.
Sign me up.
They're tiny little robots that'll clear out the infection for you, and then I guess disappear into your system. Nanobots or microbot technology. Does this sound like something you'd want to do, Matt?
Sure, yeah, man. Inject me with robots.
Chinese robots.
Is there a suppository for this? They inject it in your nose, and then once the infection clears up, your nose explodes. This is. I don't. What exactly are we curing here? What's the cure?
A cold.
Just a cold. I take Zicam. I'm good. I don't need artificial intelligence to cure my cold.
By the way,
chicken noodle soup.
By the way, I think we found a new scale for like what illness deserves what kind of treatment, because I don't care how bad my cold is. Suppository is never going to enter into that equation. It's never going to be like, oh yeah, that'll cure it. That's fine. I love that we both just said that in the morning show. Hello, good morning, everybody.
When it comes to your cold, you don't have to boof.
You might recall that You might recall that in China during COVID, they were doing COVID swabs.
I do remember.
In the place that you put a suppository.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, that was something. No news on whether or not they're injecting robots into other
Some
parts of the body.
Some people are still wearing masks. Other people are still.
Yeah. Sorry. It's the world. Let's do traffic. Let's abandon this entire segment as quickly as we can. Thanks, guys.
Crash at 38th and Capitol. Cleanup continues. There are 2 vehicles involved in this. 1 car overturned now. 38th Street is doable. You can get through that Capitol Avenue intersection. Just be careful. Capitol, that very important southbound one-way to downtown Indianapolis. Of course, that's under construction right around 16th Street with that hospital construction. I think shut down right there. But yeah, just 38th and Capitol. Crash cleanup continues. Same thing on southbound 465 on the east side at I-70. That is a overturned semi-trailer. They're sweeping up from way earlier this morning. 2 right lanes are closed. The trailer's gone, but mess on the right side of the interstate that they're doing a nice job of taking care of. Traffic is stop and go back to Penn Pike, and now we have a crash westbound 70 at Shadeland Avenue. The off-ramp is partially blocked right now because of this crash. Everything's open, just a tricky exit right now as you go westbound 72 Shadeland Avenue in that collector. Southbound 6570, that's a construction delay from the north split down to the south split, delayed 3 minutes. And then looking at northbound 65, stop and go traffic from South Keystone Avenue into the south split again because of construction. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear at WIBC Traffic.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what an Indianapolis political leader is saying about a vote to remove her from the Democrat caucus, shots fired at an apartment complex in Indy, and how the Indiana Fever fared without Caitlin Clark. Those stories and more after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis on a Friday morning. It's 8 o'clock.
A one-week deadline. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. President Donald Trump wants his spending bill passed by the 4th of July, so he held an event to push Senate Republicans along. Fox's Madeline Rivera has the details from Washington.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick called the president's event motivational. The president says the bill would lead to $1.7 trillion in savings. But the bill has hit some major snags after the Senate parliamentarian rejected some key provisions, including some related to Medicaid. These were key to help offset the cuts of the bill, a must for fiscal conservatives. Some Senate Republicans admit the parliamentarians' ruling could delay their work, but the White House is optimistic the bill will head to the president's desk by July 4th. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he won't overrule the parliamentarian. Democrats are praising her findings meantime as they continue to slam the Republican bill.
Now, Democrats continue to argue the bill will primarily benefit wealthy Americans and corporations. The Trump administration continues to push back on an initial government report leaked that suggested U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear sites only set the nuclear program back by a few months.
President Trump is calling out the left after intelligence about the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear sites was leaked to the press. The president posting, quote, "The Democrats are the ones who leaked the information on the perfect flight to the nuclear sites in Iran. They should be prosecuted." The FBI is now investigating the leak, and the White House is now tightening its circle, saying they will limit access to classified information to Congress. Senators did receive a closed-door classified briefing yesterday. It was led by CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Joint Chiefs Chair General Dan Kane. But Republicans and Democrats remain divided over Iran's nuclear capabilities after the strikes.
Fox's Brooke Singman. Democratic senators also remain doubtful following a classified briefing about the strikes, called for more information. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She's standing by her statement. The mayor needs to go. Your radar is clear. It's 77 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 92. Any way you slice it, it's going to be hot and humid today. Heat advisory in effect until tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02.
I was not in the room when any votes were taken or deliberated on. I was asked to step out of the room 2 or 3 times, if I recall. So I can't speak to exactly what the vote was and the description of it.
And that's Democrat Indianapolis Councilor Krista Carlino speaking to IndyPolitics.org after last night's public meeting. She's referring to the apology that she had to give to her fellow council members for suggesting that the law firm out of Chicago that they brought in to look into sexual harassment in the mayor's office was taking marching orders from people on the council.
You know, given an ultimatum, essentially, and a 24-hour timeline, that I would be expelled pending the receipt of a public apology for my actions, which I gave.
And because of that apology, she says she's still part of the Democratic caucus. She still has her assignments, but she still thinks that Mayor Hogsett needs to step down.
I didn't issue an apology for my resignation calls, especially not the mayor.
And the law firm was paid over $250,000 for their work last night on Indianapolis's South Side.
It's really troubling that people have to deal with this, but I can tell you the IMPD is laser focused on identifying that small part of our community that is determined to commit these violent acts.
That's IMPD Captain Rob Ryder talking about a murder at an apartment complex that started when a guy showed up to buy a gun, and it went south from there. A missing girl is found, and a registered sex offender is in cuffs. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
Deputies with the Vanderburgh County Sheriff's Office say they found the missing girl in the ceiling of a hotel room at the One Life Hotel in North Evansville early Thursday morning. The girl had been reported missing Saturday. Also there, 26-year-old Christopher Gamble. Deputies say Gamble had multiple active felony warrants, including charges relating to child molestation. He was taken into custody and now sits in the county jail, facing multiple preliminary charges. A new arrest warrant was issued for Gamble on June 18th from Spencer Circuit Court, where he had pleaded guilty and was convicted in April 2016 to 2 felony charges of child molesting. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And this just into the WIBC newsroom. A shooting in Cumberland, an accidental shooting, say police, has taken the life of a 12-year-old boy. Colts pass rusher DeForest Buckner says even though it's the offseason for them, the work never stops.
See, fans they think that I'm just on the off season just kicking my feet up, trying to play golf. You know what I mean? Or fish or whatever it is. And it's the total opposite. Majority of the time, man, we're working.
The 9-year veteran of the NFL, the Colts are less than a month away from the start of training camp. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:05, traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us, Matt Bear?
Still looking at this rolled semi-trailer on the east side. The trailer's actually gone on southbound 465 at the I-70 interchange. 2 right lanes are still blocked, and we are slow back to Penn Pike, delayed 9 minutes. Crash 38th at Capitol Avenue. 2 cars involved, 1 overturned. Everything's open as far as the streets go. You may have a lane restriction as you head through there. Crash east side, westbound 70 exiting to Shadeland. The ramp is open. It is tricky. West side crash, Oliver Avenue at Harding Street. A truck reportedly struck a utility pole. Northbound to 465. Looking at the west side looks good right now. Now northbound 65 on the south side. Stop and go south. Keystone Avenue into the south split. Southbound 65, 70 loaded from the north split down to the south split because of construction. That's a 5-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. A word from Progressive Insurance. Life can be hard, so Progressive makes bundling your home and auto easy. Hope that helps. Learn more at Progressive.com, 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Wish TV meteorologist Tara Hastings. Good morning. Happy Friday. How does our weather look?
Hey, good morning and happy Friday. It's mild and muggy to start off the day. Right now, we've got sunshine. We'll look for partly cloudy skies this afternoon. A spotty shower or thunderstorm possible, which could produce some heavy rain. It's still going to be another hot one. 92 for our afternoon high with heat indices into the triple digits. A spotty shower, thunderstorm early on this evening, and then those come to an end. Low will drop to 73. 89 on Saturday. Partly cloudy with a spotty shower or thunderstorm possible. Near 90 on Sunday. And then a pattern shift heading into Monday. Showers and thunderstorms, a good bet with a cold front moving through. And then temperatures return back to normal conditions, which is the mid-80s for the middle part of next week.
Thank you very much, Tara. Right now it's 8:07 Friday morning. Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Greg Collins filling in. Thrilled to be with you. Bunch of stuff to talk about. Today will be a very big day for the Supreme Court. There are 6 major decisions that should all happen today before the Supreme Court goes on its summer recess, which sounds nice. It sounds like something the rest of us would love to do. A birthright citizenship and the executive order trying to end it is one of the things that we'll actually get a final ruling on. Affordable Care Act, preventative services challenge that was in play for the Supreme Court. Louisiana's congressional map that was redrawn, whether or not the Supreme Court will decide to make decisions there. An LGBTQ storybook opt-out situation. That one is Mood versus Taylor. A Muslim and Christian parents in Maryland challenged the Montgomery County Board of Education's refusal to grant a religious exemption to mandated elementary school readings that involved pride parades, gender transitions, drag queens, all kinds of stuff that parents felt, even regardless of if you felt for religious reasons, but a lot of parents felt for just regular parent reasons that this was inappropriate stuff to give to their kid. Also, pornography age verification laws will be decided on by the Supreme Court. Texas is one of the places that does require, and Indiana too, you to put certain information in order to get on certain websites. Federal internet access programs as well will also be ruled on. That's probably the least interesting of the all the cases that are coming out, but this should all happen today. We should have rulings on all of this probably relatively soon after the show is over. So that's a very interesting thing. It's a very big day, Super Bowl day, when it comes to Supreme Court decision making. One other thing out there that I thought was really interesting, you might not have heard this name, although you probably are hearing it more than ever before if you are familiar. Anthony Bernal is the name of a guy who was Jill Biden's Dr. Biden. I think I have to call her doctor twice. She's not a doctor of medicine, but that doesn't matter when you're talking about legacy and mainstream media. But this was her work husband, someone that was part of the Biden administration that effectively might have actually been the AutoPen, the person behind all the signings that were done electronically when Biden's brain didn't work anymore. Fox News talked about how Anthony Bernal bailed yesterday on a subpoena that he was supposed to appear in front of the GOP's oversight committee, and he did not want to go there because he does not want to be caught with all the horrible things that I assume he did. Here's a little bit of that breaking news from yesterday.
Hey, guys, that's right. Jill Biden's right-hand man, Anthony Bernal, is refusing to appear before the House Oversight Committee today. Bernal is known for being Jill Biden's quote-unquote work husband, and he said yesterday that he would not sit down for a closed-door interview with the committee. His decision comes after lawmakers say he previously agreed to do so.
Yeah.
Committee Chairman James Comer putting out this statement saying, quote, now that the White House has waived executive privilege, it is abundantly clear that Anthony Bernal, Jill Biden's so-called work husband, never intended to be transparent about Joe Biden's cognitive decline.
Correct. He just wanted to use executive privilege to decline all of the questions that would be asked to him. And the White House has control over that. They're like, no. Go ahead and tell us the truth about how you effectively helped control the AutoPen and did whatever Jill and others wanted you to do. While they were all claiming it was Biden who was actually in office himself, President Joe Biden, who was in office when I don't think he was aware of where he was half the time that he was in office toward the end of his term. It's just crazy. This is just insane. And it's the kind of story that when you hear more information about it, you're shocked it's not all over news, that it's not constantly being talked about. And it demonstrates even further the ridiculous hypocrisy and other things that exist in legacy media. If this was a Trump-related thing, if they were claiming that President Trump's brain didn't work well enough and an AutoPen and some sort of seedy version of Republicans were actually in charge of the country, there would be chaos. I mean, look at Elon Musk and how he had some amount of influence for a very short amount of time, and Democrats were up in arms about unelected officials having control of things, even though now you have an unelected official, a bureaucrat, saying that we can't do the big, beautiful bill because she thinks there's a problem with it. Elizabeth should be fired as far as the parliamentarian who did this. It's just crazy. And anyway, just to get back to it for a second, just to cap the first conversation as best I can, I just think it's amazing to see these things play out, to see these versions of we're going after the truth and people actively deny they're even going to give testimony. And most people walking around on that side of the aisle still pretending as though they're not the horrible liars and cheats that they are, because it's abundantly clear how crazy things are right now for that party, and they refuse to accept it. They continue to claim they're the good guys while doing things so bad people can't even testify in front of oversight committees for fear of exactly how much more information we'll learn about the mental decline of the former president. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. This is Greg Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group, and this is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more. Lease a new 2025 Toyota RAV4, just $349 per month, or a new Tacoma, $299 per month. So if you've been turned away due to the crowds, come back. This is your best chance to save before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota. Don't miss it on US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. New RAV4s, $349 per month, or new Tacomas, $299 per month. All offers end June 30th. Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, $199 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, kicks off with a street party featuring live music, a kids zone, great local food, and more, 6 to 10 p.m. Then fireworks with an amazing grand finale thanks to the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
The street party is brought to you by Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana. One organ and tissue donor can save 8 lives and heal 75 more. Sign up at donatelifeindiana.org and talk to your family about your decision.
For more info, go to downtownindy.org.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
Crash on the west side, Craig. It's Harding Street at Oliver Avenue and report of a truck going into a utility pole. East side, crash cleanup continues southbound 465 at the I-70 interchange. 2 right lanes are blocked. This was a rolled semi-trailer from earlier this morning. The trailer is gone. Traffic is slow back to Penn Pike, delayed 8 minutes. Also southbound 65, 70 downtown jammed up from the north split to the south split. And a crash on the east side exiting from westbound 72 Shadeland Avenue. The off-ramp is open, but it is a tricky exit because of the crash. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It looks like we will have a hot day again today, of course. We have thunderstorms and other things possible after 3 o'clock. The high today will be 91. Right now in downtown Indianapolis, it is 79 degrees. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins filling in. You got Matt, you got Carl hanging out as they do every single morning on this very show. The Indianapolis airport has unveiled its court ahead of the WNBA All-Star game next month. I think this just happened yesterday at the airport. Of course, this makes sense if you fly into Indianapolis and walk around in Indiana, that there's a basketball court at the airport. Any reaction to this story?
Yeah, there's a wine bar right next to that basketball court, too. So
nice.
You're going to see some half-court shots, maybe one from the terminal. Sure. This is Indy, man. This is what we do. Let's have a basketball court in every airport. That's what I say.
Would it be weird if, like, a legit pickup game happened at the airport? If there were, like, a bunch of dudes playing an actually competitive basketball game there?
Say Reggie Miller was in town for whatever reason, and he just decided to grab 9 other people and get on that basketball court. That would be so cool, man. And it's so
that would be amazing.
Possible. I'm telling you, if something could happen like that, it could happen here.
We got to do it.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yes. Can you get to the basketball court without having a plane ticket?
I'm not going to say one way or the other, but yes. So,
okay.
In case people just want to go to the airport and play basketball and hang out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love the airport. I know that you never heard anybody say just like, I love the airport. I love Indy Airport, man.
You know what's funny? No, go ahead, Matt.
No, please.
I'm sorry.
Please.
You know what's funny about that? I like airports too, actually. The Indianapolis airport's a great airport, but I don't know what it was. I stayed in a hotel attached to an airport for like 3 days, and it was a great stay. Like you wandered into the airport part to get the food and whatnot. I had a really good time. There's a fancy pool. It was very nice. I think there's some.
Did you have to go through TSA to get to your hotel room every day?
No, I did not.
Search and seizure.
That was a one-off.
Little search and seizure action as you swipe your card.
As long as you didn't leave the complex, Carl, you didn't have to go through TSA again. So, I was in the area. I went through one time, and then I just hung out. It was great.
Here's your continental breakfast. Whoop.
My wife didn't love it as much as I did. I really like that airport. Other things out there, other things that I thought were interesting. A budget traveler said that she spent $7 on a, quote, affordable hostel for a night stay. She then put photos online to go viral because, of course, why not? It looks like a facility for cats and dogs. It's actually got little cages that you would open up, and inside is a bed, and it's only the size for you to, like, lay in and sleep in, but it's a human bed inside a cage that you would lock for the night at this hostel. Would you stay there for $7?
Yeah. I mean, for $7 a night,
like
you could stay at a hostel in Damascus. I mean, it's
sure.
First thing I want to say is liar. Whenever I hear $7 a night, but then I remember that some of these places, when you go overseas with the American dollar and how it converts, $1 could be like 10 whatever in whatever country. So, yeah, I would just for the experience. I mean, 47-year-old me still has a little bit of 27-year-old in him. In fact, that does sound like an adventure and kind of cool. A lot of it depends on where is it? Where is this hostel?
Bangladesh, I think, is where this one is.
I've always wanted to stay in a Bangladeshi hospital. That's a bucket list item.
It is. Have you ever been in a hostel in general, Matt?
Yes. Yeah, I stayed at one when I was 19 years old. It wasn't like the movie Hostel, where the women with the sauna and everything else. Maybe
the other stuff that happens in that movie,
Well, towards the third act, things get bad for the people who stayed in the hostel, kidnapping and torture. But it was fine. I mean, it was just a bunch of dudes in one room. I mean, it wasn't like a co-ed hostel or anything. It wasn't anything like you think it wasn't a nudist camp, Craig.
I didn't love it. I've been in a hostel too, man, and there was something about it. Like you 4 strangers in a room with bunk beds. Something you don't love about that. I guess the thing that's weird about this one is you don't have to share the literal space you're in with people because you can lock your cage, and then you get to stay in your cage until you get out, which somehow seems better and not worse. I don't know.
No, it's a thing. Don't you share a bathroom when you're at a hostel? Am I remembering that correctly?
Oh, yeah.
Like one.
Yeah, you have a bathroom
floor.
like on the floor, I guess. So it's very much like college.
Oh man, might as well Section 8. That's fantastic. I would. I mean, we get older and those things don't sound as appealing, but still, it's. I mean, $7 a night. And you're not even staying there that long. You're going out. You're seeing the sights, the Bangladesh sights, sounds, smells, all that.
So many. All the things to see when you're not in your cage. Absolutely great.
Hey, this conversation is reminding me of a thing that's on Netflix right now called the Poop Cruise.
Oh.
Have you heard about this? It's about the Carnival Cruise Line that got stranded in the middle of the Gulf of
Nigel from
America.
Hammer Nigel was talking about this yesterday. Yeah, Hammer Nigel show.
Yeah, and it stopped in the middle of the Gulf and nothing worked, and the poop started coming out of everything.
The headline for that, the Poop Cruise, is this is how bad it actually was, the Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
All the people that were on it talking about how horrible to take a cruise from Texas to Mexico and then be surrounded by poop. I don't know what to say about this, man. It's every part of this seems awful. I'll never do a cruise. I will never, ever do that. Not just for this reason. I don't think I want to be trapped in a boat for that long.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the kicker. That ship is still in service. They changed the name from the Triumph to the Sunrise, and you can take it from Galveston to Cozumel.
No, you should light that thing on fire. That thing should not be allowed to keep serving people.
Well,
that
they haven't had time to clean it yet. That's the problem. It's been a minute. And
they're going to get to
that.
that.
Bring in the bifurcated man and the organ and get all that fired up, and then maybe.
I don't know why people do a cruise. Can I break bad on cruises in general? I don't know why we do this.
Yeah.
I feel like there's other ways to entertain yourself, travel to other places, be on beaches and whatnot. I don't get the cruise thing. I don't think I've ever understood it. If I want an all-inclusive stay somewhere, I can do that in Mexico, too. You can, stop somewhere, get a bunch of drinks for free for the whole week while you're paying a ridiculous sum of money. Why do I have to do that on a boat?
Well, for me, when I was taking a cruise, it's because I didn't have to drive the boat. That was to give you a little insight. The thing about a
do you
cruise,
drive?
man,
Hold on, Matt. No, hold on. I already got to shoot a hole. Do you drive the plane when you fly places?
No. Now that you mention it, no. All
right.
I know pilots.
There
The
you
thing
go.
about a cruise is everything's taken care of for you. You have to do nothing, and I mean nothing. You don't have to go to the restaurant. You don't have to take care of the cleaning, everything is done for you. And that's part of the lure of a cruise, not to mention that all your destinations are already pre-planned. You know where you're going to go, so you can plan ahead, plan accordingly. I mean, a cruise, you are spoiled rotten. That's the purpose of a cruise. So if you're looking for something like that, it's a fantastic option. But I get it, man. You have no control once you're out at sea, and there are pirates.
Yeah.
And there's also lots of drunk women.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Now I get why people go on it. Yeah, I get it, Carl. Now I understand. I understand completely.
Well, but that's only for certain. You're not going to see that on a Disney cruise. I mean, right?
No.
The Disney cruise is more of a family thing, but if you go on, I don't know, cruise for Hustler or something. That's what you
well, actually, I did have a buddy that worked for Second City, which is a improv comedy group in Chicago, and they had a cruise ship, like a Second City improv ship, and he went on it for a couple trips. I couldn't envision that either. Improv comedy is what I'd be stuck witnessing every single night while I was on a cruise. I feel like that would get old very fast. Even talented people, I'm not going to enjoy it for very long. But he loved it. He loved going on those trips, and I loved having an apartment to myself that he was paying half of for multiple months at a time.
Yeah, lots of pratfalls if you get some bad company there for the
there you go.
stand.
Yeah.
A lot of improv.
Hilarious. All right, we got a couple other things to get to in a little bit, including the shocking amount of Americans who are afraid they're going to get ill during their vacation. I will tell you how many of those are in just a little bit. But first, Matt's got some traffic for us.
You got it, Craig. Southbound 465 on the east side. Crash cleanup continues at I-70. 2 right lanes are blocked. It was a rolled semi-trailer. The trailer's gone, and now we're just cleaning up. Traffic slow back to Penn Pike for a 4-minute delay. Southbound 65-70 loaded. North split to the south split. It's a construction delay of 2 minutes. Crash east side going from westbound 72 Shadeland Avenue on that ramp. The ramp is open. It is tricky. Crash on the west side Oliver Avenue at Harding Street. A truck reportedly into a utility pole. Northbound 65 construction zone slow before Raymond Street into the south split head. A reminder, northbound 65 scheduled to close at 9 p.m. tonight until 6 a.m. Monday morning. A weekend closure on northbound 65 from 465 to the south split. If that gets postponed because of weather, I will let you know. Traffic sponsored by B-Window. Right now, B-Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
And this is Casey. Stephen Whitmer from Indy Report will be with us to talk about lots of fun facts and figures on how the politicians are screwing you.
Join us Friday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money, you deserve it, and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220. That's Tony Katz to 46220. Or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Trust employee owned. B-Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The deals at Andy Moore Ford continue. We're talking about that employee pricing. Employee pricing at Andy Moore Ford across a full lineup of your favorite trucks and SUVs. That's right. You pay what they pay at Andy Moore Ford. Get $17,000 off MSRP on new 2024 F-150s or buy a new Ford Super Duty truck for under $40,000. 175 different trucks to choose from. And if you're looking to sell or trade your current vehicle, the time has never been better. Every vehicle comes with $500 in Andy Moore cash and $2,500 more for your trade. Plus, drive with no payments all summer long. Talk to Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Find out how easy it is to get your new car, truck, SUV, or fleet vehicle at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield or online at Andy Moore Ford. That's MOHR.
I love Andy.
AndyMooreFord.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The status of the bill and the difficulty getting it to President Trump's desk. Your radar is clear, 77 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 92. A heat advisory is in effect until tonight. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31.
They're taking out provisions that the House worked long and hard for, and it's taking out provisions that, the 12 committees agreed to on the spending cuts, and now here they are weighing in. I don't buy it, and I think they ought to be challenged.
And that's Congressman Ralph Norman of South Carolina talking to Fox Business about President Trump's one big, beautiful bill.
We got to read it. We've got to have it in our hands, and we've got to get it back from the Senate, which we expect to either get Monday or Tuesday. We need 48 hours to review it, and then we'll vote on it probably toward the end of next week.
Norman says tax cuts and border security are all wrapped up into this bill. What are Hoosier political leaders saying about the one big, beautiful bill?
We are so close to passing President Trump's big, beautiful bill here in the U.S. Senate. We are not going to let the Senate parliamentarian or Democrats or even squishy Republicans stand in our way.
Senator Jim Banks on X.
Passing the biggest tax cut on working class families and small businesses that this country has ever seen. There's so much in this bill that's important.
And Trump says he wants it on his desk by the 4th of July. A prolific film composer who wrote one of the best-known TV show themes has died.
The composer from Argentina, Lalo Schifrin, who wrote the theme for Mission Impossible and more than 100 other arrangements for film and TV, has died. Schifrin won 4 Grammys and was nominated for 6 Oscars, 5 of them for original score, including the film Cool Hand Luke. Schifrin once said every movie has its own personality and that the movie dictates what the music will be. His son says Schifrin died peacefully at his home in Los Angeles from complications of pneumonia. Schifrin was 93.
And that's Carmen Roberts reporting. Music, food, and drinks are all part of this event. Here's Terry Stacy.
The ISO's Kroger Symphony on the Prairie kicks off its season tonight at Conner Prairie.
We have a really wonderful lineup with the orchestra, very varied, something for everyone. Tusk, Fleetwood Mac tribute to kick us off. This is a fabulous tribute band, accompanied with our fantastic musicians, giving it a lush orchestral sense to it. It's fantastic. Saturday, we have arrival from Sweden, music of ABBA. It is so fun.
Ed Parsons with the ISO says for the 40th season lineup and tickets, go to IndianapolisSymphony.org. Terry Stacy, WIBC Mobile News.
Sports on WIBC, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. Last night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Final score, LA 85, Indiana 75.
Indiana Fever Radio Network on the call. The Fever losing to the LA Sparks 85-75 without Caitlin Clark, who sat out because of a groin injury.
You have to have better energy, better focus, and at the end of the day, like, we've shown that we can do it.
That's guard Sophie Cunningham talking about blowing a 10-point lead.
You're right. We've had double-digit leads going into the fourth, and then we just let it slip. And so for us, we got to be better from top to bottom.
And the Fever played the Dallas Wings tonight. In the NBA draft last night.
Man, I'm just ready to get to Naptown, get to work.
And that's the 38th pick in the draft. The Pacers selecting Cam Jones out of Marquette. He told ESPN,
"You know, it takes what it takes. I'm excited to get to know those guys out there, man. Build those relationships, build those friendships."
And with the 54th pick, the Pacers selected Talon Peter from Liberty. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, Ryan, on the east side of southbound 465 and I-70. Cleanup continues on a rural semi-trailer, and the trailers are gone, still cleaning up. And we're backed up from 72 Penn Pike. Your delay time is 8 minutes. Looking at westbound 70 on the east side, that's a crash on the exit ramp to Shadeland. The ramp is open. It's going to be tricky until they get it cleaned up. Southbound 65, 70 jammed up from the north split to the south split. A 6-minute delay because of construction. And northbound 65 slow because of construction. South Keystone Avenue up to the south split. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, mainly after 3 o'clock. Sunny and hot, of course, again today. A high of 91, 79 right now in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC. I have no idea what this is right now. This is Tony Katz, the Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Greg Collins, filling in. Carl, what was that? What was that? What just happened? Okay, the chicken song. Do you do this every day?
No.
No? All right. I need Tony Katz to react to the chicken song because that was fantastic. And a lot of things happened. Thank you, Carl. Carl Showbiz hanging out on the show. Matt hanging out on the show as they always do. A few crazy things to talk about. First, it is the 1-year anniversary of the debate that destroyed President Biden for good. The President Trump, President Biden debate that actually included some pretty amazing moments. Moments like this. I don't know what the heck he just said, and I don't think he knows either.
He left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump? I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
That was amazing. That was one of several moments. But again, the 1-year anniversary of the debate that ended President Biden's political career and probably should never have happened, in all honesty, because he shouldn't have been in the office at all. Just quickly, I'll play one more piece of audio about the ongoing cover-up discussion of the auto pen and people who are avoiding getting subpoenaed now. There is a group of people, and multiple times this was confirmed. I think Alex Thompson confirmed this back in May on Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe show, where he said that there were specific names, including Anthony Bernal, who was recently just subpoenaed and decided to go ahead and skip that subpoena. But there were like 4 or 5 people that basically were in charge of the White House along with the First Lady, and it was not the president because his brain wasn't functioning. But here's a little bit of audio from just the other day and another politician, Eric Schmidt, talking about this.
Yeah, well, I can't tell you how many times people in Missouri have asked me, who is running the country? Who is actually in charge? Like, it's kind of an important thing in our constitutional republic.
It is.
Like, who's making the decisions as president of the United States? Look at what happened in the last week in this country. You have to have a president like President Trump who's in full command of the office, makes clear decisions. That did not happen for almost probably the full 4 years of Joe Biden's reign, right? So who was? The truth is, you probably had a series of, women's study majors from Ivy League institutions who used to write white papers about open borders are now suddenly in charge of opening the border. So this is a bigger scandal than Watergate. We need to continue to drill down on it.
Yes, we do. It's a bigger scandal than Watergate is interesting, and I probably agree with it because we had a fake president for a while, and just how long is still an open question, and it's amazing that there's a bunch of people who don't care. It's sort of like when you were finding out more information about COVID, and there were people out there like, I don't want to know anymore. Don't tell me about the COVID vaccine. Don't tell me about this and that. And all of it was different than the information they were told at the beginning. And these were the people that were aggressively telling you have to get a shot. You have to do all this. Once more information came out, their claim was, let's just let it go away. Let's stop talking about this. I'm sick of this topic now. And that seems to be happening again. As far as the border is concerned, Tom Homan asked a simple question at a press conference yesterday. What the hell is wrong with Congress is essentially what he said. This was in response to some of the things they're still fighting, still trying to prevent. There is now a line of military personnel at a specific portion of the border trying to make sure that it's secure and saying that it would be a felony if you're apprehended in any of that part of our border where military is now protecting it. But here's Tom Homan from yesterday talking a little bit about, why this is somehow still a difficult topic to get to the end resolution they want. They're securing the border. President Trump has absolutely been doing that. They want to do more, and they don't understand why Congress is standing in the way.
What the hell's the matter with everybody up in Congress? People are dying every day. ICE is arresting 3 times as many criminals that the Biden administration did. We're taking public safety threats and national security threats off the street every single day. We got over 600,000 illegal aliens with criminal histories walking the streets of this country. We got less than 5,000 deportation officers. This should be a no-brainer. The more resources we get, if we get this bill passed, we got more agents on the road.
Yes, we want
that. We buy more beds. We get more transportation flights. More agents means more bad guys arrested, taken off the streets of this country every single day.
And that's a good thing. He's talking about the big, beautiful bill and how Congress is delaying it, actually the Senate, essentially. And one bureaucratic individual is saying that some parts of the Medicare cuts aren't allowed to be Medicare cuts, and you have to vote differently. You have to allow for a filibuster. Essentially, they're trying to kill a bill that would do a whole lot of cutting and a whole lot of spending at the same time. And the cutting is important with all the different spending that would go on there. But most Americans agree that our border became a unique problem, and we want it as secure as humanly possible. And that sounds like what Homan and others are trying to do if given the resources to do it. By the way, one other quick thing, just kind of jumping around in the big news topics out there. Of course, the continued conversation about the military attack or military, thing that happened in Iran that destroyed their ability to have nuclear power or nuclear weapons. This was a tremendous victory for the United States. It is very clear, very definitively that President Trump saying that the bunker buster missiles that were used to blow up the cave that was hiding all of the different nuclear assets for Iran, all of this, it's just an easy conversation to be had to say, hey, good job, us, and then move on. CNN didn't do that. And now they're trying to give themselves an excuse for why they didn't do it, saying that they're just being extra difficult. They're just scrutinizing the information more. But actually, one of the idiots on CNN claimed that they didn't say what they have been saying, which is that it didn't actually successfully knock out Iran's nuclear program, which did occur. They're claiming it didn't occur, but this absolutely did happen. Here's Brian Stelter trying to say that we're not lying to you as much as we've been caught lying to you, which CNN definitely is caught lying to you now.
There's so much more reporting to do on this topic. This is a very complex matter, even though Trump tried to make it sound simple on Saturday night. It's really important to note what CNN did not report. CNN did not report that this mission was a failure. Far from it. It may have turned out to be a tremendous success. We just don't know all the facts.
We did report that it was a failure for quite some time, that nothing happened, that it set them back just a few months at most. And now we're like, whoops-a-daisy, we've been caught red-handed. Let's go ahead and claim that we're actually telling you that it was a really big success, potentially. We're just not really sure. I love the pushing the goalpost crap that happens all the time in media. All right, quick break. A lot coming up. It's Craig Collins filling in. Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Matt Bear, how do our roads look?
All right, Craig, we still check it out the east side of southbound 465 at I-70. Cleanup continues on a rolled semi-trailer with 2 right lanes blocked. Traffic is slow back to Pendleton Pike. The late time is 6 minutes. Westbound 72 Shadeland Avenue. There's a crash on the exit ramp. That ramp is open. It is going to be partially blocked. Southbound 65-70 stop and go for the north split to the south split. That's a 3-minute delay because of construction. Northbound 65 slows Keystone Avenue to the south split again because of construction work. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off on products and services plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust a local. Trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. It's going to be hot again today, of course, as it's been hot for several days in a row now. 91 is the high. Sunny, hot, but some showers, thunderstorms possible after 3 o'clock. 79 right now is the temperature in downtown Indianapolis. That temperature brought to you by the American Standard Cooling Weather Center of 93 WIBC.
The news everyone's talking about. You'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
This is Tony Katz, The Morning News, 93 WIBC. My name is Craig Collins, filling in. That is Dragnet. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's a great show. That is a fantastic show. This is when Carl plays a theme song to a show every single day, and Tony, not me, typically guesses what it is. We're going to do this all next week, too, then, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Fantastic. I have a lot of hope that I do well, although I probably won't, to be honest. But Dragnet was an easy one. My mother liked that show a lot. My grandpa liked that show a lot. So I've seen several episodes of said TV show. Did you like it? Does this show that a Carl enjoyed to watch some Dragnet or no?
It's based in my hometown of Los Angeles.
Oh, there you go.
Friday.
Very nice. That was not an answer to my question, by the way. You just
Did
avoided
I like
the question
it? No,
completely.
actually, it predates me.
Hated it.
Yeah, and my
Okay.
mom wasn't watching this TV show.
Kind of sucked.
It is terrible.
And
Terrible
all that
show.
Law and Order.
Hate when they solve the crime and catch the criminal. All right, good to know. Some other things out there real quick. I thought this was interesting. Ways that people are saving money this time of year because everybody still wants to save money. One of the newest ones is to not buy new clothing. Even if you don't fit in your clothing anymore, specifically don't even buy a new belt. Just find ways to use the belt that you have. That's what people are doing. They're repurposing their clothes to somehow be effective without going out and buying new stuff. 52% of people said they're doing that right now. How does that sound to you guys?
I think it's fantastic. I haven't really bought a shirt in a while that I wear on the regular, so I stopped buying clothes altogether.
Sure.
There's lots of ways, too. You can now, like, repackage your clothes and do good with them. I mean, here in Indy, we can give them to the Salvation Army or go to Goodwill, or there are lots of things you can do with them. As far as wearing clothes that are, like, maybe too tight for you, I don't know, just be comfortable. Whatever the fashion trends are right now, try to look as suave, I guess. It's whatever you're doing. I can't imagine if you're, like, a parent of a family of 4, you're too worried about what you're wearing right now unless you're going out or going to work, right?
I guess. Yeah. No. You know what my wife hates about the way that I do clothing? That's a good sentence. I wear the same shirts if they're clean. And my wife likes to do the laundry a lot. I do it less often. That's the way I'm going to say it nicely about myself. So if she cleans my shirts too much, I'll just wear the same shirt multiple days in a row. Like if for some reason she does laundry 2 or 3 times and my favorite shirt makes it into the wash, I will have one outfit until it's dirty again. And it's bad. Like, she hates it. She's like, why are you wearing that shirt again? I'm like, I don't know. You cleaned it again. It's my favorite shirt. So I could wear this every day.
So,
and I'll be
so,
fine.
so my wife does the laundry a lot, and she leaves the clean clothes on a stack to be put away, and I just grab that.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, right. She even hides it in my closet, by the way. She like hides. Yeah, the favorite shirt. I'll just keep thumbing through until I find that one, if it's clean, because it sounds great. I don't know.
She threw it out in the lawn.
Yeah, she would. I think eventually, it's getting donated at some point, Matt, and then I'll just have a new favorite shirt that I'll do the same thing with.
Yeah, I got you. Got your wife.
Thank you for that. Other things out there, I thought this was interesting. Dads-to-be think it should be normal to have a baby shower for a guy. I would not at all in any capacity want this, unless you called it something else. Unless you're like, my buddies are getting together and they're going to give me stuff because we're having a kid, but I don't call it a baby shower. That's fine. I don't know why. I would not want to do the female version of the party for a dude, but that's me. What do you guys think?
I think I'm kind of sick of that because my first thought I had was nothing in life is free. So if somebody has a baby shower for you, that they're going to want something in return at some point. And I know that's a really cynical way to look at it.
No, it's true.
If somebody threw me a baby shower, I would be like, guys, why?
What do you want?
I mean, first off, I'm not a partier anymore, so I'm like, what are y'all doing here? You don't have to give me these things. It's nice. If I need it, I'll just order it from Amazon.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Save money for your own families, which I know you already have. Save money for your trips, for the colleges, whatever else you want to do. We don't need to have guy baby showers. I want the wife to have one. I want her to have the beautiful anything she wants as far as baby showers, weddings. Yeah, break out the checkbook. We'll go more in that. But as far as dudes, I don't need that kind of. I don't need that kind of attention just because I'm going to be a father, especially for the first time.
No, honestly, it seems to misunderstand how dudes are, like how we behave. Like if I was with my buddy and he's like, I'm going to have a kid. If he needs something, he'd ask me for it. He'd be like, can I borrow $50? I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. Here's $50. I don't know why you need it. But like, that's how that would work. I'm not going to go get him a present and give it to him and be like, here, for your child that's not alive yet. That's not how men are. That's a women thing only, in my opinion.
What if it
Carl,
was a surprise party? What if all of a sudden they're like, surprise, Craig?
No,
and
I'm leaving.
They kidnap you and take you to a gentleman's club. And there's a woman jumping out of a cake and they'll be like, oh, we know you wanted this for your bachelor, or not your bachelor party, but your first kid party. I mean, would you be okay with that?
My baby shower. Yeah. That'd be a weird way to celebrate the birth of a child, to go to a strip club. That'd be a weird thing. You know what I mean?
I was thinking of getting the R2D2 humidifier for Matt Bear.
Yeah, sure. He would love it. And it's only $10.
Is there a metaphor to the woman jumping out of a cake and having a kid?
I don't know.
Okay.
I did think of something else that she could jump out of as far as, but that's going to go a road we don't want to go. One other thing. Sorry.
That's 4.
One other thing that I saw out there before we get out of here A woman wrote to Dear Abby, which apparently still is a thing. I didn't know Dear Abby still was working. I'm glad that lady is still doing stuff. And they said that they're a pathological shoplifter. They don't know how to stop themselves from stealing things. What do? And Abby's advice was pretty awesome. Stop stealing stuff. Just stop doing that. Don't keep going places where you want to take things. Anyone else want to throw some advice to someone who's an admitted, pathological shoplifter?
She wrote that post from a stolen phone, too.
She did.
It's
absolutely true.
I don't know, Craig. I mean, just with my understanding, can you be addicted to shoplifting? Is that a possibility, or are you just a jerk? Or are you just an
Yeah, you're just a jerk.
Okay.
Yeah. I love when people are like, it's not me, it's the addiction. It's and they do it for anything. Because, some stuff you can get addicted to. Some stuff you can't. I don't think you can be addicted to committing crimes. I'm just addicted to being a criminal. I hate it. I wish I could get over it.
Yeah, I've got to be really careful here. But I do remember there was that period where all these dudes were getting in trouble for cheating on their wives and
sex addiction.
It was sex addiction. Yeah, thank you. It was before Me Too. And I think there were famous talk show hosts involved and everything else. And they're like, oh, I'm a sex addict and everything. And I'm like, dude.
Dude, you're a guy.
You've got millions of dollars and you're a guy and you have power. Don't give me this sex addict stuff. But at the same time, I believe in the disease of addiction. So I kind of feel like a hypocrite. But sometimes, like you said, you can kind of say, well, I'm an addict. Okay, you're free to go. Woo!
Right.
That's
there's stuff you can get addicted to. There's other stuff that I don't think you can. By the way, the best reaction to the sex addict, time in our lives was the South Park episode that talked about it. That was fantastic. If you want to check something out, making fun of that idea, South Park's the way to go. All right, I'm out of here for today. I'm back next week. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Matt. You guys are awesome. Matt, you got some traffic.
All right, later, Craig. Looking at the east side, southbound 465 and I-70 crash. Cleanup continues on a rolled semi-trailer now. Right 2 lanes.